You say I make you nervous, a tragedy, I'm a beautiful disaster, a reckoning, you wonder how I got this way. You think I'm someone to be saved, someone to clean up and tame. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh. You think I would look pretty on your arm once you cover up my bruises and battle scars, but it always ends the same. Can't bear the things I've had to face, got you crying on your knees in pain. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh, you'll break your back to make me feel again, suffocate to make me breathe again, lose your mind from endless pain.
Gets back up, and they're fighting into this little narrow area. Mao here coming in with the whole hog will force everybody out. He was mana boosted at the time, and bam! Gets
fucking bastion.
Mine. There's an Ana. Tap.
Oh, fucking purple.
Hold again.
Sorry.
Hog.
Go by the middle.
Oh, really? I was breaking the wall.
Oh,
Push my tree.
We still win these?
Hell yeah, we win these.
Wow. He was I didn't expect us to kill.
Bad quick play, Red. Oh no, but just
When the sun goes down, it emerges from the deep. El Diablo Rojo.
I've been watching you.
Well, taking out Aurelius, Penguinator, Claylam out, looking very good. Jet, they're trying.
I don't know who can stop him. You're gonna get dude. You're gonna see Jimmy over onto the hog now. Gonna hook the Bastion out of the turret. That was a sick hook coming in, but then
Marcus coming in with the Death Blossom, but gets charged out of it. Amazing play from Uwe, but Warren does take him down in return.
Outside, somebody's waiting for them though. Oh, there's a rock there as well. Hammer down coming in and
Speak to Riot's getting so many kills this team fight and last team fight. This entire map.
from popping out early, and here it comes. The Deadeye is gonna get cancelled out by the feet. There's a bit of one Deadeye combo. Not gonna find a single thing. Also the top one once again. The one comes down, both coming out.
we get 3 kills and definitely turn this.
Not anyone getting any kills yet, but the Coalescence and Barrage coming in, and an insane portrait from the King! Marcus does go down as they're pushing in here, but Hawk with an insane 6k onto Reagent Uprising, and that is going to be getting them the point. That was absolutely insane.
I stopped asking for forgiveness, cause you should know only fools tread where the angels fear to go, but you keep trying to get too close. Save myself by turning into stone. So save your judgment cause you just don't know. But some things never change, never change. They say I should feel guilty and change my ways, leaving crumpled bodies in my wake. Swear I didn't mean to make them break. Swear I didn't mean to make them break. But they're so delicate and so mundane, and they keep coming like a moth to a flame. Oh, some things never change, never change. You'll break your back to make me feel again. Suffocate to make me breathe again. Lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption never came.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Owlet tournament. I'm your host and play-by-play caster, Reignbow. We've got an excellent match for you tonight is the Minors Grand Finals featuring OwOs versus the Happy Squids. Joining me in the commentary booth tonight, as usual, is Mysfyt. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, and I'm really excited for this game. There's been a lot of build-up to this game. It's been a while since these two have last played their semifinal matches, and I'm eager to get this season, or to get this final match underway. It's going to be a really, really good one. Both these teams are to the top of the league for minors. They're both incredibly good. Going into the game, though, I got to give the edge to OwOs just due to the fact that they've been undefeated since the beginning of Stage 2. And since they actually picked up 2 players from the original Happy Squids roster.
Yeah, back in between stages 1 and 2, that was kind of a really big turning point for them. But yeah, I did agree with you that Ohio had the edge going into this, but I'm kind of starting to think Happy Squids is going to do pretty well after watching them play Dumpster Divers on Monday, because they were really clean, did really well, so I definitely think they have a strong chance going into this match.
Yeah, and that I do think it's possible. I think another thing that comes down to is like the matchup specific thing, right? The King is obviously one of the better flex DPS players in the league. He's a really, really good Pharah, but he's kind of struggled to play the Mei, the Doomfist, and the other things that he needs to play in the league. But his Pharah has been good enough that no one in the Minors League has been able to contest him on that character, except Justice Seaman, who was my MVP pick for the league and is a really, really talented hit scan player. Actually plays both hit scan and projectile. I think one of the biggest win conditions for both these teams, considering how electric their DPS lines are, is can Hawk keep Seaman busy enough for the King to do his thing? That was not meant to rhyme, but that was actually kind of fire, so someone clip that, please.
But yeah, I definitely think the shutting down of Seaman's going to be a big point for Happy Squids. Because it's what we see kind of bring down Kraken Skulls in their game against OwOs, is just Seaman went uncontested basically the entire match. I think he only really got contested in map 3 when they were just so frustrated they hyper-focused him, and I think he had like 2 solo ults against him on King's Row. So I hope we don't get to see a repeat performance of that here. I definitely think Happy Squids is going to have a better showing against Ohio here.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, right? Because a lot of the things I've heard building up to this, because I like Ohio a lot. I'm friends with some of the people on it, and I kind of went from just thinking they were going to win, straight up cheering for them due to some external stimulus that we don't need to mention. But the last time these two teams played was back in stage, I want to say it was stage 2 final. Or was it? There was a game in stage. No, it was stage 3.
They played stage 3. It was
score was 3-2.
Went to map 5. Yeah,
they went to map 5. However, I have the inside juice, and that is that OwOs hadn't played together as a team, and most of them hadn't even been playing Overwatch for like a week in advance of that game. And they took 2 maps to adjust to a team that had been scrimming that whole time. 2 maps, and they reverse swept Happy Squids. So I really don't know if that is a good indicator of the strength of these two teams. I really do think Ohio has an edge. That being said, I don't think it's completely stupid to think that Happy Squids does have a chance here. I think Happy Squids is a really, really strong roster. They're easily the second best team. And I think that they definitely have a chance to win this game because, to be honest, it's not about who's better. It's about who's better on that day.
Yeah, for sure. And because I think Happy Squids has had a lot more space to improve since that last game. Whereas I think Ohio's, they're really good, but I'm not sure how much they've improved just because we don't have a lot to compare it to. The scale does not go that high in minors. But I think we've seen Happy Squids improving since that game, so I'm excited to see what they pull out. We talked about the DPS line a bit. What can you tell us about the tank lines of these two teams?
Well, OwOs has best tank line in the league. Aurelius is a really, really dominant main tank. He's very in your face, he cares a lot about the duel between the other main tank. He's really good at winning it. And Blatman is widely considered to be the best off tank in the league. Well, now that there's only 2 teams left, I guess he is kind of by default. That being said, though, Happy Squids is not bad, right? I think War and Peace he's a solid player, and Jim Blue's not bad either, but they don't have the same pop-off potential that the tanks do. The tanks on OwOs make these huge plays every fight, even with players like Justice Seaman and Penguinator bringing up the rear, right? But I don't see that from Happy Squids. I typically see Hawk and the King getting all the kills, and Jim Blue making a play here or there, or Warren having a nice play here or there. And again, they're not bad, but I just feel like it's hard to stand out on the Ohio OwOs with how good their lineup is, and their tank line manages to do it, whereas Happy Squids doesn't.
Well, I mean, I'll kind of disagree with the popping off part, because I think Jim Blue does pop off quite a bit, and you shouldn't underestimate how much Warren is enabling both Hawk and King to pop off there. You'll see huge barrages come out of that DPS line, and they're often heavily enabled by Warren's pulls on Orisa, because I think that's one of his really strong heroes is that Orisa. So I'm excited to see that. But moving on to the support line here, anything you have to say about them on either team?
Yeah, we got to highlight that Poplots is still MIA for this game. Poplots, of course, is the Miners MVP, is an outstanding main support player. Blazing Angel, not bad, right? Again, no one in this game is bad, or else they wouldn't be here. But Blazing Angel is not as good as Poplots, because one's the MVP, one's not. It's not. And I don't know. We didn't see it affect them too much against Dumpster Divers. We saw Happy Squid still had a really dominant showing. Blazing Angel played really well. But Ohio OwOs is not Dumpster Divers. Ohio OwOs is undefeated since Stage 2. Ohio OwOs is right now the best team in the league. And I do think that missing Poplots is something that we need to highlight and expect to affect the way Happy Squids will play.
Yeah, for sure. But let's not delay this any longer. I think we should kind of kick it over to our first map here. And get into that. So I think we are starting off with Lijiang Tower. I got a bit of a peek of what Happy Squids is going to be playing here. I know they plan on running some Fire Mercy, and I think I saw some Orisa Reinhardt earlier, so I'm excited to see how that's going to be panning out for them here.
Looks like we're going to a pause here. Apparently they were not all the way ready. I don't know what Happy Squids is doing, but it looks like apparently they're having comm issues.
Okay, yeah, I don't think this will count as a official pause, so we don't have to worry about too much, but I'm curious, I know you got a chance to see a bit of Ohio's warm-up, so do you know anything about what they plan on playing here on Lijiang?
I think by the time we got to Lijiang, I think they were kind of just beaming on us, to be honest, because they ran like Ash Reaper, and it was just weird. I did see this though, they were running a lot of Orisa Rein, which was a little bit different because we typically don't see that from them, especially considering how good of a signal player Blackman is. But it's possible that they are, it's like a secret strat they haven't been using because they want to surprise Happy Squids here. So who knows?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some surprise strats coming out from these teams, because that can give you the edge you need to win a certain map, or even just like a singular point, and then that can turn the tide for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm excited to see what both these teams pull out here. Again, I do got to highlight, if they are running the Pharmacy, Seaman is going to be the one tasked with shutting them down. I would expect to see like, you probably May Reaper here from OwOs, if not May Ash, or maybe Reaper Ash. Maybe they were not meanly on us. Maybe that was their strategy. I don't know.
Ready for battle.
Yeah, we do see some Reaper Ash and Hanzo Farah on the other side. So I'm excited to see how this goes. Oh yeah, and we do have the Orisa Ball on the side of Happy Squids here.
That's gotta be fake, right?
It's not. I saw them playing it earlier. I actually just kind of forgot about it. They are going to be running Orisa Ball, unless they have some last minute switch.
So this is going to be like a 3 stay back, 3 dive type of thing, where King, Blazed Angel, and Jim Blue will dive on a target, and everyone else will like stay back and stuff from there. That's good. I like that. One thing I do got to highlight though is there's not really a lot of stuns on the side of Happy Squids to take care of the Reaper that the OwOs have.
Bad start. Jim Blue has taken a dive in the garden pool.
Relatable.
So not a great start here coming out on this ball, and it looks like Ohio's is just going to be able to cap this first. Happy Squids, I don't see them putting up a huge fight, but now that Jim Blue's back, actually, they should be pushing in here rather quickly as Immortality goes down to Hawk.
Jim Blue's just swinging around. He's doing ball things.
Yeah, did take out Penguinator though, and Hawk getting a kill onto Aurelius is looking good for Happy Squids here. And Ohio did never actually cap that point. Ooh, Justine does get a kill onto Warren, but Happy Squids really have the advantage here. But Terminator does come back to take out Speak to Ryan, but Warren getting rezzed. It looks pretty solidly in Happy Squids' favor here, as they are going to get first cap.
Yeah, and I would expect probably some switches coming in here. I don't think they were prepared for the Orisa Ball, because it is a little bit different. It looks like they will stay with the tank line. I do really want to see them on Orisa Sigma. I don't think the Ryan Sigma has what they're looking for to take care of this comp. I think Warren will just be a little bit too uncontested if that is the case. But we'll see here. The King and Hawk are getting really close to their ults here, as well as Speak to Ryan, so those are going to probably be the win conditions here for Happy Squids going into this next fight.
Yeah, we see them pushing in through the white room here, trying to get some stuff set up. We see the Window's going to be coming out from Speak to Ryan, trying to get that extra damage, and Jim Blue does take out just a Seaman there. A good initial pick onto the OwOs, but it looks like it is going to get rezzed, but Turbo Nerd falls during that res, so still down 1 DPS, but using the Window to help them push in here, but there are mines on point, which is going to prevent them from getting too much push there, and Jonathan died to Dragon Sap from Hawk. Justine does get a pick on Speak to Ryan. They're taking out one of these supports. And it does get rezzed back up by Blazing Angel there, but Jim Blue is going to be going down to Penguinator. Still pretty even right now. We see the barrage is going to be coming out from King, and it's going to get 2 Turbo Nerd and Aurelius down. Hawk gets picked on just Seaman after Seaman took out Speak to Ryan there. But it looks like it's going to be Happy Squids kind of keeping this point right now and pushing Ohio OwOs back.
Aurelius finally going over to that Orisa, and I really think that is going to be something that helps them. Jim Blue will not be able to just get away with rolling through the team now, because he will get halted before he's able to get it away. Hawk almost to another one of these Dragon Strikes here. If they choose to go through that tight corridor, Hawk could mess them up really good here. I would expect the Flux from Blatman to be something that they will be looking for here to break this fight open. They need to do something quick, though, because this is a potential last fight scenario.
Yep, we see lots of ults getting thrown down, but Warren and Hawk go down early there, but Jim Blue with a huge boop there, and that could be saving the fight as Warren also gets res. Jim Blue popping off on that ball there. Oh, looks really good. Still trying to just keep it alive here. Jonathan on the Mercy, but is going to be dropping before I think anyone's going to be able to get back here. Ooh, we do see Aurelius on the point as ball, and we see the Death Blossom is going to be coming out here along with the Flux, and Ohio OwOs is bringing it back with 3 ults there coming out and able to capture that point with a huge clutch play.
Yeah, that is a really big retake. However, they are on a really transitional comp right now, and that could really hurt them, because the Happy Squids can kind of pick whatever they want to counter what OwOs has right now, because OwOs can't switch. They need to win every fight from here on to win this map, and it's not looking good for them now that they have no ults to counter this barrage from the King.
Yeah, we'll see if Happy Squids is able to pull this out in this fight. Just trying to get some picks in here, rotating around through white with Pharmacy going down the backside. We see the mines get dropped there, trying to take out some players, but Just Seaman is able to take out Jim Blue, but King comes back and takes out Turbo Nerd. 1 for 1 on either side right now.
The King's flanking for this barrage.
Yep, I imagine we'll see it come down pretty soon here. We see the Window's going to be coming out from Happy Squids, trying to get some extra damage. Warren takes out Aurelius there. And we see the barrage is going to get dropped. Jonathan and Blatman go down, looking good for Happy Squids right now. The Deadeye did come out, but it's getting mostly blocked by a wall there, not able to get any kills. Hawk takes out Turbo Nerd, and they just need to clean up these last players here. Able to take out Penguin there. Just Seaman still alive. He was able to take out Jim Blue, but Just Seaman's going to be taking a dive off the edge, as we do see Jonathan here on the Lucio trying to contest this out. And we see the win. Lots of interesting heroes on the side of OwOs. Blatman's going to be going down there. We see the Blizzard coming out. This might help put an end to OwOs staying alive right now. Turbo Nerd goes down. We see the Window is going to be coming out from Penguinator, but not getting any kills on the side of Ohio OwOs right now. But Aurelius does use mines to get a kill onto the King. Interesting there, but it looks like they won't be able to keep this alive for much longer, but Justine does get a kill, and Blatman also getting a kill there. Both supports down for Happy Squids right now, but it looks like Happy Squids is going to be able to clean these last players up. I don't want to speak too soon, but we do see Jonathan and Aurelius go down there. It looks like they will finally have it. I don't think anyone's going to be able to touch in time. But as I say that, we do get a touch out from the Tracer, I think it was. And now we see the Winston coming in here. They need to claim these kills, but Just Seaman takes out War and Peace there. And you see the legs in the background nearly take the place in Angel to prevent that res, but looks like Hapsquid does get killed into Penguinator there on that Moira. And we see the Barrage coming down, takes out Turboner. Just Seaman does take out Jim Blue, but Hapsquid still having the upper hand here. And preventing this from getting pulled back, King taking out 2, and yes, with Aurelis finally leaving the point, it's finally over.
Yeah, that was a really, really interesting point there. OwOs getting caught off guard a little bit, I think. I would expect to see the Majestic come back just fine here, but I do want to highlight the fact that they were able to stall that for so long is equal parts good and embarrassing for both teams. Because A, you're able to, as for Happy Squids, you're able to keep your composure and not lose to a stall, not really lose your head in a stall that lasts that long. But at the same time, you're not focusing anything well enough to prevent them from going to 0 to 99 all while you're on the point. And for OwOs, good job stalling that, but like, I feel like they should have just regrouped at some point there. Like, they kind of had to stall just to, like, because it was at 99, I guess, but like, I feel like they needed to regroup there.
Real quick here, we have some matches out from both teams. Both TPing the point here. This is going to be an interesting fight as they're right on top of each other. Flatman getting the first kill onto King. Yeah, Ohio was taking that first engagement rather strongly there. Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, but it was getting underway rather quickly.
I interrupted you. That was a lot of visual effects we just saw, courtesy of Blizzard Entertainment. But yeah, that teleporter strat, we have seen some teams run that in the Minors Division. Namely, Kraken Skulls ran that for both of their playoff matches. And it looks like some teams liked that. However, now the King has realized he can just go onto this far almost uncontested. So the OwOs are going to have to really play point here if they want to get away from this. Yeah, and they...
Ooh, yep, gets that pick. Good starting point if Hapsquid can push into this and take out the rest of the team. Kind of using that window there, not able to get too much out of it. Hawk does take out just a Seaman there. And yeah, we see these windows coming down. The wall is going to be coming down from Turbo Nerf. Jim Blue gets to pick onto Penguinator with that rock there. But you do need to continue getting these kills, and a bit quicker than you're getting them right now because they're very spread out, and it's allowing the players to start coming back here. Turbo Nerd gets a kill onto Jim Blue, but you know, Happy Squids, especially like Hawk and King, are continuing to get these picks here, and it looks like they are going to be taking this point.
Yeah, they're over onto the Orisa Ryan now, which I like, or I think they've been on that. Seaman switching over to the McCree here, which I do like again. However, I do want to point out, Hawk is doing an excellent job of taking enough aggro to keep the attention off of the King, which is exactly what Happy Squids needs to do if they want to win this game.
Yeah, the Barrage coming down along with the Dragons is able to pretty handily stop that push out from Ohio.
A bit of an overult there. I would assume that's a miscommunication there, because they did not need to use both those ults there to win that fight. Hawk's Dragon Strike was just fine, along with the pull from War and Peace. So that leaves them a little bit depleted in the ult economy. However, they will have Valkyrie and this Supercharger, and it's going to have to be what they use to beat the Supercharger and the tank ultimates, I should say, from the side of File.
Yep, we see Ohio starting to push into Happy Squids here. Shatter coming out! Shatter! A lot of them were captured in that mortality field, but it's not going to be enough to save them. We do see Hawk and... we see Warren and King going down. Sorry there. Hawk now going down along with Speak to Ryan. Warren does get res back up, and I don't think it's going to be enough to save this for Happy Squids here. They did get a couple picks onto Ohio during that fight. Jim Blue going dying there, but Ohio is going to be capturing this point back.
Yeah, and they have a lot of ultimates to work with here too. They're gonna have the Bap Pull Fire Strike combo as one of their win conditions. They could also use the Supercharger if they want to, and they'll have the Sound Barrier to counter Jim Blue's ultimate, the Gravitic Flux here. So they are sitting pretty on this point right now, as long as Justice Seaman can get back in time. It looks like he's gonna have to play this off angle here.
Yeah, we see the Gravitic Flux coming out, already taking out Penguinator. Hawk and killing Justice Seaman, looking really good for Happy Squids right now. They need to keep up the pace, and they do. Taking out Blackman, Aurelius getting a kill there, but King coming out with the Barrage, and that's going to secure their fight win there, and they're going to be taking back the point. Ohio ending with 85% there.
Normally I'd be chiding the use of 4 ultimates on the side of Happy Squids to retake that point, but unfortunately Ohio also used 4 ultimates, so that's a really big loss for Ohio there, because now the point is squarely in favor favor of Happy Squids, and they have almost nothing to recontest with other than their wit and strategy.
Yeah, starting off with the Dragons here, Immortality kind of counter a lot of that damage coming through, but Jonathan does get taken out by the King, and King getting another kill into Just a Seaman as well. And King does get taken down by a Blackman, but Jim Blue is able to get a kill into Penguinator, and it's definitely, with that res coming through on the King, it's looking really good for Happy Squids right now. And we saw Turbo Nerd kind of going in there, maybe trying to figure out Death Blossom, does get taken down rather quickly, and it's looking really good for Happy Squids right now. And oh, we do get a touch coming through there, but with the overtime coming through, I think they're going to be able to keep this pretty strongly here. Just need to take out a couple players. King takes out Penguinator there. And we do see Aurelius coming in here on the ball. Need to take him out along with Turbo Nerd. We're seeing another huge overtime situation here. Hopefully they can resolve it slightly faster than they did the last one. Just need to take out Blind Man here on the Reinhardt. And Jonathan here on the Lucio. And they are able to clean it up faster than they did last time. We see Happy Squids taking map 1.
Yeah, and that's a really good map there from Happy Squids, really trying to prove the doubters wrong about them. And they are doing a really, really good job of it right now. This is Jim Blue's huge book on that first point. But I do want to highlight about the first point. I feel like OwOs is trying to be a little bit too fancy right now. Like we see with this comp they were running on the first point, they had the Ryan and the Sigma, and it was just kind of weird. Like we've seen them be so good at the Orisa Sigma all season, and I haven't really seen a lot in the meta that the current patch is on that leads me to believe that Orisa Sigma is still not the best thing they could be running right now. But yet they tried to do something a little different, and it kind of backfired for them. The second match was a little bit closer. I feel like just the map geometry didn't allow Seaman enough angles to take care of King on Pharah. And I feel like once we get to a different map, we will see him kind of show up, show out. But that was very uncharacteristic of OwOs there. They looked a little bit overconfident in a way.
Yeah, I was about to ask, do you think they're overconfident going into this matchup? Because I know they were pretty positive they were going to win, along with some other people hyping them up, Mysfyt.
Yeah, well, I still think they're going to win. Like, one map isn't the deciding factor in this game. Like, they can still
we'll definitely do... yeah, I know. We'll have to see how it goes, and if they're able to focus up for map 2 here, which it's going to King's Row. I didn't think that was how the map order worked, but let's go. I'm scuffed. I don't know anything, so I'll assume this is correct. And yeah, so going into King's Row here, we know Ohio has this strat of they're going to be starting on defense, but on attack they have this strat of teleporting their Bastion up to the statue, and I know Happy Squids is a pretty good counter to it, so I'm going to be curious to see if Ohio is going to be running this here.
Oh, they won't. They have teased that they have an even better strategy than the statue Bastion.
Ooh, even better.
Yeah,
right.
So if Happy Squids does try to counter that statue Bastion, I think that might backfire on them. I do not know, though. The statue Bastion is a very, very strange strategy because if you try to account for it and they don't run it, you lose. But if you try to play it safe and go with what you know, you also lose if they run the statue Bastion. So it's like strats like that could potentially be fatal for both these teams if they don't know how to counter the statue Bastion with the meta compositions that they're running. But other than the weird strategies, I do want to highlight one quick thing, and that is that Seaman on this map has been nothing but nutty. I was talking about how close range Lijiang Tower was, how close Night Market was, and how that might not have been giving him enough angles to deal with the King's Pharah. On this map, though, he has plenty of room to work with, and I really think we are going to see a change to the dynamic here going into this map.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what's going to be happening here with Ohio starting on the defense and Happy Squids starting off on the attack. I don't know precisely what they plan on running here on either side, but I think Just Demon typically runs Hanzo here, if I'm correct.
Usually, if that I've seen him run Ashe, I've seen him run Hanzo, I've seen him run a couple of different things. But I've only really seen the King run Mei and then switch to Pharah as soon as he dies. So that's why I predict that. I do expect to see the King on Pharah. He did run it against Dumpster Divers, and I do think that's a matchup to watch here.
Yeah, but we will see those compositions revealed soon. And the counter comp that Happy Squids is going to be running on defense, I think, is going to be Mei Hanzo, and they're going to use the Mei wall to to kind of counter that Bastion a little bit.
Like you mean put the wall on the top of the statue so they can't teleport to it?
No, once he gets up there, push him up, and it has weird physics where it then drops him down.
Oh.
It's interesting. I hope they run it just so we can share it with the audience here. So it was kind of interesting to see them put that strat together. So they did do that just before the game, in their warm-up session.
Nice. And it does look like we will be seeing the meta comp for the most part coming out from the Ohio OwOs. They will have a Mercy instead of the Zen, which most people would be like, oh, well, why would you do that? But it's because you can pocket Seaman on this character. And this is his signature character. If you're one of our viewers from Majors and you've never seen the Minors before, he's really good at this character. He has single-handedly grounded Pharahs with this character alone. I know personally, if I see that he's playing Pharah, or playing Ashe, I just switch off Pharah immediately. I don't even try to run Pharah into this thing, because it's not going to work.
Since not everyone knows, a regular Ashe headshot I don't think kills, but if it's boosted by Mercy, it does kill.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of more to the point. But we do see the wall coming through, just kind of separating some of these players on both sides right now.
In trouble.
Bit messy, but no kills coming through quite yet. Pushing in pretty aggressively here from Happy Squids, using that wall to block off Blackman. A good initial pick coming through. The kind of side-to-side wall is going to allow them to res. That was a really interesting strat. I've never seen that before, lifting up the res. But Blackman does get killed again here, keeping their advantage going. Hawk takes out Seaman there. A good pick here, but we see the immortality is going to prevent some of those kills from coming through, and they need to keep their pressure up right now. We see the window dropping down to help them do that. Aurelius is going to be going down. And looks like they're continuing to get these kills. Turbo Nerd falling, Jonathan falling. Looks like point A is going to be pretty solidly theirs now.
Lyman needs to back out here, and I do got to highlight there. Turbo Nerd getting a little bit too aggressive there, allows himself to be caught out by the King's wall, and that forces his tank lane to push up to save him, which gets Blackman kills and really gets Blackman killed and really opens the fight up for Happy Squids. So that small mistake gets punished really well by Happy Squids, and Happy Squids is doing a great job here of punishing those little mistakes from Ohio. You can tell they've clearly been preparing for this team for a long time.
Yep, we see them starting to face off here around first corner. We see the windows going to be coming out. The wall use just kind of block it out. Use of immortality there is kind of useless since they did have that wall going. And Ohio is going to be getting those kills because they rotated around through bookstore there. And Drilled to kind of go back up around them. And they are going to be capturing this point back.
That is a really, really big fight win for them. Hawk is upstairs flanking here, and I would expect him to drop down with the Death Blossom. But other than that ult right there, this choke is really hard to push through. If you try to Blizzard with the King's ult, Turbo Nerd can just throw his out in as an answer to it and completely negate the effect. It's really, really hard to push through this choke into the attack in this game.
And we see that Blizzard is going to be coming out there. Doesn't look like caught much. We also see the Death Blossom coming out. Ward Piece gets killed, and Turbo Nerd. Just Seaman also going down to Hawk's Death Blossom there. And looking really good for Happy because they need to keep up these kills. Penguinator is going to be going down. Hawk kind of on a roll with this Reaper right now, getting a kill onto Aurelius as well. And looks like that's going to be a fight win for Happy Squids, taking that pretty well. Didn't lose a single person.
Yeah, no, that was a really, really good push from them. Using both DPS ults there was pretty good. I don't know if they needed the Death Blossom. The Death Blossom is one of those ults you kind of can just throw out. Both teams are getting close on their tank ultimates. I don't like that Aurelius has switched over to the... Or was he always on the Rhine? I don't think he was. I think he's switched over to the Rhine.
King also switched here. Oh
yeah, and the King is on to the Pharah now once he lost that mailed. Yeah, Turbo Nerd's going to answer here with the mail here, and that's going to be the win.
Yep. Immortality did fall into some of those players. Did get taken down, though. Just Seaman getting killed on Stick to Ryan. Both Baptistes have fallen right now. Aurelius gets killed on Jim Blue, but Happy Squids comes back and takes out Jonathan and Turbo Nerd. Pretty even fight right now. Kind of see where the next kills land, but looks like Ohio is backing up a little bit. But just Seaman comes down with the huge Death Blossom, getting 3K there and winning that fight back. But we still see Aurelius kind of backing up on that Rhine. It's a bit surprising, since they did do pretty solidly have this point.
Yeah, I do like the Pharah pick from the King here because they've kind of forced Seaman off of his Ashe comfort pick, and I did say that was their win condition to do that, and they've been doing a really, really good job of it. But unfortunately, there He is not a one-trick. He's a very flexible player and showing his prowess on another character of Reaper. And I do think that they have the advantage here with this position that they're holding right now. I don't think the Pharah can get a lot of value here.
Yeah, did nearly fall there. Do see a Shatter came down there, and everyone's kind of going very head-to-head. You see the Death Blossom coming out, Hawk taking out Jonathan, but Aurelia's coming with a charge to get Stick to Ryan, but looks like it's still pretty even right now. These kills kind of going back and forth. Looks like Happy Squids does have the advantage right now, though, but, you know, definitely Ohio's getting a lot of kills there, but it looks like it is going to be Happy Squids taking this cart and continuing to move here on point B.
And once again, Hawk making a lot of space there for the King to come in and get a lot of plays. Hawk's been doing a really, really good job of that, where he'll be able to get like a first fight pick that allows his team to push in and gives the King a lot of space on that Pharah. And just really, really good plays by him. Hawk is a very, very talented Reaper player.
Yeah, and we do see this last final fight right before point is getting capped here. You see Shadow Barrage, so many ults coming down here, but no kills yet. Just continuing to face off, but Jimbley does get that first pick onto Aurelius, but OwOs comes back and gets 2 kills onto Happy Squids. Happy Squids kind of backing up a little bit right now, just trying to get out of here, but kind of need to continue to aggress, especially with that res on to speak to Ryan, trying to maybe keep this alive, but looks like they are actually continuing to back up here, waiting for people to come back from spawn.
Yeah, this is going to be a really interesting fight here because both teams have really, really good ultimates here. Turbonerd's got that Blizzard, but we saw him be a little scared to use it there on the first point. Hawk is flanking here. Doesn't have his ult, but probably will be able to get it. And there are the tank ults on both sides.
Yep, starting off with that Window, getting a Fire Strike in there. Window to respond from OwOs, and also throwing down the Supercharger there. You see the Shatter coming out as well from both sides. So many ults getting thrown down as we keep seeing on King's Row. But Happy Squids is coming out with all of the kills right now. You do see the Blizzard come out, but it's not enough to get anything there. And it's just Happy Squids cleaning up the OwOs, and they capture it. Have 2 minutes to get to the end of point C.
Yeah, this is going to come down to the wire here. Seaman's going to have a lot of space here to work with because Hawk can no longer contest him unless he has to teleport right to him, which may not go so well. And there you see it. Will get rezzed, but again, it's just a testament to how consistent Seaman is on this Ashe.
Yeah, and we do see OwOs pushing in here, getting nice and aggressive, pushing Happy Squids back. I would have loved to see them hold their ground slightly more than they're doing right now, but the Barrage comes out, takes out Aurelius, but Seaman's able to take out King there. Not quite behind that shield like he hoped on that Barrage, I believe, but Hawk coming in with the Death Blossom is able to get both of those supports there, and continuing on to Aurelius. Turbiner does take down Hawk, but Happy Squids needs to just kind of get this Bob out of the way so that they can keep cart moving.
Yeah, Turbonerd needs to charge this Blizzard here. If he can get that Blizzard before this reaches the end, I think OwOs has a chance to stop the full completion of King's Row here.
Yeah, we see Window coming out to start that fight, and Seaman with a kill onto the King does get res back up, as we've been seeing. But, you know, it still uses that res up, so you can't use it later in the fight, which is really neat as you're getting down to the wire here. And we see OwOs continuing to get nice and aggressive here. Seaman getting 2 picks onto both those DPS. And Penguin Egg taking down War and Peace, and that's going to be the end of this push for Happy Squids. They just have 30 seconds and 1 last fight to get this to the end.
And now both Turbonerd and Justice Seaman will have their ults for this fight, as well as the Shatter. And it's going to be a tall order for the Happy Squids to push this. Hawk is going to need to get some big picks on that Hanzo in order to break this fight open for his team. I would like to see a very, very calculated push here from Happy Squids if they want to win this. They do have a Shatter of their own, but I don't know what.
Oh, Sneak Shatter coming in from Aurelius there. He is able to take out Jim Blue, but the Immortality does come down there, but we do see Blizzard coming out, and Jim Blue does get taken down by Aurelius, along with War and Peace by Blackman, and we see the Graphitic Flux is going to get dropped here pretty soon, and that is going to be Ohio preventing them from getting to the end of King's Row here.
And a really, really good adaptation by the OwOs, but they are looking very weak right now. They are looking very vulnerable, which we haven't seen all season from them. Happy Squids is trying very, very hard to make me eat my words that OwOs is the favorite in this game, and they are really showing up, showing out. They're doing an excellent job cycling their ultimates, getting a lot of value out of them. However, we have seen multiple times that the King is really, really crushing on this Pharah when he feels like it seems in every situation he just needs to be playing that Pharah. He was on the Mei, which was a good pick, and he was doing pretty well on it, but he switches over to the Pharah, and it does kind of help him take the second point, but it was mostly cleanup of what he was doing, right? He was cleaning up a lot of what his team was doing, which is good to do. Again, I'm not saying that's bad. But onto the third point there with that Pharah, I really think Happy Squids could have used a Mei to counter the enemy Mei, to counter Seaman by walling him off instead of giving him those long sightlines that third point allows a character like Ashe. And we're going to have to see if that has a role in how this map will play out. It does look like they might try the Statue Bastion here.
Yeah, maybe we'll kind of have to see what they're bringing out, but as I was saying, we do see the Hanzo Mei coming out for this defense from Happy Squids.
Yeah, and I do expect to see them try to like wall that Bastion off if they can. But even then, I do think Happy Squids will struggle a bit on this defense, or because of the sheer power of OwOs on this map's attack. They are very, very consistent about how they attack this point, and they've been very dominant at it, and there you go. That's why.
Oof.
And now he's going over to the Ashe.
Yeah, just, you see them pull out the Widow sometimes, you see teams do that. Usually doesn't get anything, but did get something that time. But yeah, we see huge aggression coming after from OwOs, and that's kind of a roll through point A. So yeah, not what you like to start out with. And I do think that's one of Happy Squids' kind of downfall sometimes, is when OwOs just gets really aggressive onto them, they fall apart and back up a little more than I'd like to see.
Well, they lost their Mei there. Like, what else can they do? They don't have the Mei to protect them with the wall, because Seaman just gets that really, really huge first pick. And that's what I'm saying is, OwOs is just so aggressive on this map, and they were not prepared for that. And like you said, they backed up and they fell apart really quick.
Yeah, and that wall coming down to Jimblue, not looking good. Aurelius gets that pick, and, you know, unless, you know, Happy Squids pull something out, they need to back up here as they're doing.
Happy Squids does have a chance to retake this point here if they do it quick. It's not moving very far. That pick is going to be really, really big. Hawk with an outstanding pick onto Justice Seaman, and that could give them the space they need to push onto this cart and stop it in its tracks.
Yeah, it lets King have some more freedom that he needs, not having to worry about that Ashe meal as much. We see the dragons coming through. The immortality kind of counters that a bit, so not able to get a lot there. And OwOs kind of backing up a little bit in this Pharah fire, as Happy Squids able to just kind of put their foot on point and not let Ohio move it right now.
Yeah, the King getting really, really close to his barrage here. In this tight quarters scenario, I do expect it to get a lot of value here, unless I've been mistracking. Oh, Penguinator went down, actually.
Yeah, right as Seaman came back, Penguinator goes down too, and we see the barrage coming in, but Blackman takes him out before he gets any kills there. Oh, and Johnson with a kill on the Blazing Angel, and that's big for Ohio. Looks like they're going to be able to kind of continue pushing here. Happy Squids still putting up a fight, seeing if they can get anything else out of Ohio, which is good because they did drop the beat there to keep up their aggression, and Ohio's just cleaning up these kills right now.
Yeah, this is what I was saying about Ohio just being really... I apologize if I'm talking a lot about Ohio here, but this is a map that I remember being absolutely terrified to face them on, because they have just been so good on this map year-round. I don't know if they've ever lost on this map, to be honest. I doubt
they haven't lost that much in general, so
yeah, that's fair.
I'm not sure
right.
that's something to say.
You got me there. All right, they do have 5 ultimates though, so they do have a clear advantage going into this fight.
Yeah, and I do hope to see a good final stand coming out from Happy Squids. See the Supercharger going down, the Gravitic Flux and the Blizzard dropping. Jonathan goes down first there, and we do see a Shatter coming down. Just even gets big on Jimblue. Blazing Angel comes back, takes it Turbo Nerd, but Aurelius is going to be taking out the King here. And we see another Gravitic Flux coming out. Blackman takes that Speak to Ryan with that, and was looking really strong right now. We see the Bob going in. That's going to be able to fight the back of the Happy Squids as they try to contest point here. We see War and Peace go down along with Hawk. They're just trying to stall this out as long as they can, but I don't think they will be able to do it for much longer. We just see the King on this Tracer here, trying to keep it alive and allowing the team to respawn so they can come in and take his place here. And we do see the Doomfist pounding in here, coming in, but gets taken down along with the rest of the Happy Squids. But we do see the tanks coming in here, along with the Lucio, trying to keep this up. War and Peace goes down here, along with Blazing Angel. Just have Jimblue here trying to keep it alive. But, nearly it, but we see Speak to Red come in on that Moira, and now finally, King's Row is going to be done, going to the Ohio Woes. It is currently 1-1 right now.
Yeah, that is... I do apologize if I am highlighting OwOs a little bit too much. I do have to give credit where credit's due, and Happy Squids did have a very, very solid map that game, but unfortunately it was not enough. They kind of faltered there at the final hour of their 3rd-point push, and they were not able to finish the map, and we just saw OwOs completely wipe the floor with them on their attack. OwOs really showing their skills of adaptation. On the first map, it really looked like Happy Squids had the control, and I was seriously worried too, because I do not want to have to admit that I'm wrong. I'm not very good at that, you know? I'm admitting that I'm wrong, but OwOs coming in, protect my honor, and taking that one very convincingly, and I expect this to be a continuously a back-and-forth series between these two teams.
Yeah, I mean, despite the fact that Ohio was one, that Happy Squids did have a lot of really bright moments. I think just the FAR got shut down too much by Seaman, and that really kind of ruined a lot of the Happy Squids pushes in a way. So I'm curious to see what's going to be happening on this next map that we're going to.
Yeah, and I have talked about OwOs adaptation, but I do also have to talk. Happy Squids is another really good team, and they tend to adapt just as well as OwOs. So I'm not going to count them out yet. They have really shown out this game, and I was not expecting them to come out with the force they have. They definitely have a real chance to turn it around and take this next map, especially because they get to pick it, and that is a really powerful tool in a situation like this.
Yeah, it looks like it is going to be Escort, so I'm curious to see which map they're going to be choosing. Could you remind me what 2 possible maps we have here?
I don't know them because I am as scuffed as you are. So,
R.I.P. I can check somewhere.
Yeah, we will have that map when we come back. We are going to throw it to a short break here before we get into this. Don't go anywhere.
You just gotta keep moving forward. We are back after break. It is Happy Squids versus OwOs, currently 1-1 right now. Mysfyt, what are you thinking right now?
I'm thinking this could go either way. I mean, on
Yeah,
the first map,
that's really where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean, on the first map, Happy Squids was in control. They were really setting the tempo, and even throughout their King's Row attack, it really looked like they were in control of the match. But OwOs coming back with a really solid King's Row attack, and they were the ones setting the tempo on that one. They had some really good strategies, really effective plays. Simi got that huge headshot on the May to open up the fight for his team, and it's things like that that make you unable to count out OwOs. But I can also not count out Happy Squids as much as I want to, because they have really been doing a good job here. Hawk is being insane. The King's Pharah has been nuts, and everyone all around is making plays. Blazing Angels has pulled off some really good reses. Speak is doing a really good job on the Baptiste, on the Moira, on anything he's playing. And that goes for the support line of OwOs 2, Penguinator, and Jonathan both making plays. And it's like, I really feel like this one is able to go either way.
Yeah, and we are getting on to Dorado here, so instead of popcorn for this one, get your Doritos ready. Bill told me to make a joke, so I guess I had to.
It was so good until you told the audience that it wasn't.
Listen, it was a bad joke to begin with.
That's the whole good. That's good.
No, it's not.
We're supposed to be funny. We're supposed to be memey. We're supposed to be cringy. That's our job.
Oh, whatever. Let's look at these cops.
Yeah, we do have the Ash Reaper for the attack, which I like, especially since they are probably expecting the King to be on that far. However, the Ash Reaper didn't really go well for them on Li Jiang, where Hawk was so effective at shutting down Turbo Nerd, even without the stun that you'd expect from like a McCree or something.
Yeah, we do see some Pharah raining down right now, and just trying to kind of slow going to start out here.
Yeah, looks like they're trying to use the payload as cover as they approach here. We should be expecting a rotation or a drop coming from Happy Squids sooner rather than later here. Don't want to give up too much space into this choke here. It looks like they are going to rotate now.
Yeah, I would have liked to see more happening in that first initial area there, but we are going to finally get some action right now after they push through that little choke there, and the first pick comes from Seaman onto the King, but does get res back up by Blazin, as we've been seeing throughout this matchup. We'll kind of see where the next kill comes down. It's taking quite a while, but Turboner does finally take out Jim Blue there, and the cart is still moving. Not a lot of contesting coming up from Happy Squids right now. Speak Terrain falling as well there. But Hawk does come back and take out Turbo Nerd. Might be good for the Happy Squids, but Aurelius gets a kill and then Jonathan gets a res. So.
Oh, they're not giving one. Oh, are they? Oh no, it's a little lost now. But yeah. I was thinking if they could have kept King alive, then they might have had a chance there to retake that.
Yeah, that was looking pretty weak there from Happy Squids. What do you think was going wrong there?
I'm not really sure there. It kind of just looks like they were a little sloppy with the rotation there. They kind of took a while to rotate, and OwOs took that opportunity to aggress onto them. Hawk did a really good job of trying to like 1v6 on the payload, and actually did get a pick. He got close to another before he was popped off, and there's...
Oof. Yep, yeah, Seaman popping. Doing really well in Dorado right now.
Yeah, that's why he was my MVP. We're starting to see a little bit more of the Seaman than I'm used to. He was looking a little weak on the first two maps, but he's really showing up now.
Yeah, and coming out with the Supercharger only is enhancing these two great DPS players, and the tanks really, they just are wiping again. Happy Squids, not looking good right now.
Wait, the King's on Ashe. Hello? I have never seen him play Ashe. I know he has a Widowmaker, so I wouldn't be too surprised if he actually like pops off on this character. But I do wonder if it is like strategy or if he's kind of just mad that Seaman's been doming him for the last 2 maps.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's just mad. I do want to see the contest come through for the cap point. Just to continue to get these kills, Hawk does get a kill with those dragons, but the point is captured. They probably were going to win the fight anyway, but this is pretty sad coming up from Happy Squids right now. I almost don't know what to say, because they're just losing these fights so quickly, and just such great initial picks coming out from OwOs.
And this is the adaptation I was talking about for OwOs. They have really figured out Happy Squids here, and it really looks like they know what their win condition is. They're playing with a lot more calculated confidence, not the overconfident sloppiness we saw in the first map. They are being very, very smart with how they play right now.
Yeah, Hawk did that get that pick onto Turbo Nerd, but OwOs comes back with the Gravitic Flux, and Bob just kind of rinses Happy Squids yet again, and are just pushing through and have so much extra time right now. Ooh, but yeah, Hawk coming out and picking out 2 there. Hawk might be able to bring this back for Happy Squids.
Junkrat now? What is
King doing? Okay, but and the dragons get eaten by Blackman there.
That's kind of big.
Yeah, it's pretty big, but and Turbo Nerd bringing out the Death Blossom. Mysfyt and Jimbly did each get a kill, but Turbo Nerd continued to kind of rinse Happy Squids a little bit. King does take out Turbo Nerd. Blazing Angel taking out Blackman. Love to see the Battle Mercy, and that's actually going to help bring it back here. But with 4 minutes on the clock, the future is not looking too bright for Happy Squids on Dorado.
Yeah, the King's playing musical chairs with his heroes right now. He needs to decide on what he's going to play, and he does go over to the Mei, which I like, is a good pick. And I think he should stick with that. They are going to go Ryan Zarya here, which I don't actually mind. They can play this really tight corner up here, the last corner of the point. They can play that with the Ryan Zarya and have a lot of success there. However, they will need to have Hawk or the King on the high ground to contest Seaman when he goes up there, or else Seaman's just going to rain hell on him.
Yeah, and he did switch over to that McCree, so not super surprising since the silence are a bit shorter in here. Trying to see what he's going to be able to do there. Just kind of sitting on high ground, trying to get some picks, but the wall comes down, and it's going to cost them to drop down onto point. But we do see Hawk in the back, takes out Penguinator. War and Peace is going to be going down to Aurelius there, and Penguinator is able to get res back up by Jonathan. Just trying to get some more picks out from Happy Squids, but Hawk is going to be falling along with Speak to Ryan. And Blazing Angel going down as well. Ohio just continue to clean up these Happy Squids players.
Happy Squid's in a really, really bad spot right now. Warren's going to try to contest, but he's not going to get a lot out of it. Hawk is going to need to pull off a miracle here if he's going to save the point for his team, but I don't think he'll be able to do it.
Yeah, we'll kind of just have to see what's going to be happening here. Blazing Angel on this Lucio trying to keep it contested. Speak to Ryan did fall there. Blazing Angel does get a kill on the Turbo Nerd. Maybe able to keep it alive, but the res comes through from Jonathan. We see the data coming out and just seeming able to get 2 there. Still have some people left to contest from Happy Squids right now. It is still possible, but Penguinator takes out War and Peace. Hawk going down as well, and they're seeming to just continue to roll here, and they have capped that with 2 minutes 30, and especially with Dorado being a map that you don't see finished, super frequently. It's like about half the time it gets finished at all. So with the 2 minute 30 time bank, it was pretty good attack from OwOs.
Yeah, and I'm highlighting OwOs too much, but that map was all OwOs.
Watching that map,
all
what
OwOs.
else can you do?
Yeah. It was and there was a good contest there for the I did like the Ryan Zarya a little bit, and then I realized the fault with that, and I think OwOs did too, because they went high ground against it instead of like going to the corner like we typically see. And I like that because with the Orisa Sigma, like Ryan Zarya can't contest high ground without going to the high ground, and there is no quick path to where they are. So it was just a shooting gallery. They just had to wait and sit on high ground, burn down the shield of the Reinhardt, and then it was just fair pickings for them. And really, really good adaptation there from OwOs. Good job pressing Tad and understanding that strategy. And now they are going to come out with the Ashe and the Mei against us in the warm-up screen that they did with my team. They were running Ashe Reaper, and they had Turbo Nerd kind of like sit on the high ground and like shoot down on us and kind of aggress when he saw an opportunity. I think that's what his Mei is going to do here too. Like probably play this like left side high ground and kind of like drop down to the choke when he's needed, while Seaman takes the other angle and just diverts all the attention towards him. Because what can you do other than pay attention to Seaman when he's on this Ashe?
Real quick, what do you think Happy Squids can do to have a good push here? What do they need?
They need Hawk to try to contest Siemens Ash, or else he's just gonna keep doing that. Like,
yeah, already getting a pick. Not what you like to see. Does get res back up, but you know, yep. Okay, get killed immediately.
Are you
this
serious?
Is rough for King right now. I think King's mental is getting a bit boomed right now. Switches over to the Hanzo. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Blazin gonna be switching soon as well.
Yeah, Siemens already to a Bob. You're gonna see a Bob here in a few seconds because they don't know that he has it. There's no way they know he has Bob right now. Oh, what a
Ooh, King getting picked. So that Bob is not in play except for the rest that's gonna be coming through. But Penguinator are going down there, and we see the Bob is going to get pulled out here. And I think it is close enough to contest the cart. And Speak to Ryan is going to be going down to that. And I think Squids is going to just try to get some picks here. Both Warren going down, they might need to back up. Ooh, but with the res, King is popping off and is able to take out some of those OwOs players. Looks like they might be able to pull this fight out right now, but King's going down to C-Man. You need to take that, piece of the puzzle out right now. Penguinator getting killed and plays an Angel. It looks like it's going to be OwOs continuing to hold this right now. And
Penguinator.
The kind of the minds to keep them from pushing it too far. Oh, that was bad.
It looks like they're on a huge amount of impactful ults right now on either side. Seaman will get this Bob very quick with help from Jonathan and the damage boost, but the King is doing a really, really good job of this Hanzo of contesting him. It looks like he's finally found his answer to Siemens Ash, which could really open this up for Happy Squids if he's able to do it.
Yeah, but, this is... Getting through point 1 is just going to be one part, and it's already being an issue as they lose 2 players right off the bat there.
Yeah, it looks like this fight's probably going to go the way of Ohio, barring some miracle. And it does look like Happy Squids is going to regroup. Hawk on this Tracer is a little concerning right now. It looks like he is finally going to switch over to May. Hawk's May is nuts. I'm not going to lie. Hawk's not on, like, everything. We talk about Seaman a lot, but, like, Hawk and Seaman are two sides of the same coin. They're both extremely versatile, flexible, and just high potential players. And I do expect Hawk's pick here to really break the fight open for his team.
Yeah, we see just Seaman kind of in the back with that Mercy pocket trying to get some picks, and Jim Blue goes down. Not a great start for this push here. I was kind of thinking, well, they'll get through point A, but what about the rest of the map? But right now, point A is not even looking guaranteed. The Speak to Ryan also going down. Happy Squids just desperately trying to retreat here. They only have a minute left.
Yeah, I think that was a good job by OwOs there. Blazing Angel makes a nice play trying to take Seaman out of a fight, and the King and him go and follow him. But it's a 4v4 on the point, and with a Blizzard from Turbo Nerd, that fight just swings heavily in the favor of OwOs.
Yep, they need to be able to make it into this fight without losing any more players, and one of the big things there is making sure Seaman's not shooting that backline too much, but Seaman does kind of back up there a little bit right now. So it looks like they will be able to make it to points. Both Superchargers going to be coming out here. And we see the Gravitic Flux coming out from Latman, but the Dragon's coming out from Happy Squids there. Just Seaman getting the first pick though onto Speak to Ryan with that Bob. Jim Blue also going down. Warren Peace does come back and take out the Bob, but just Seaman rinsing Warren there with the Dynamite, taking out Blazing Angel, and it's another sweep, and they only have 10 seconds left to just touch point.
They won't be able to. I don't know. Actually, no. They'll be able to touch. Jim Blue's on the ball, but they just have nothing. There's no ults, and there's no hope left.
Speak to Ryan going down. Warren going down as well. Jim Blue falling, and it looks like it's gonna be it. Yup, it's just player after player on the Happy Squids falling, getting no picks right now, and the overtime is ticking down, and that's going to be it here on Dorado. That was kind of hard to watch, I'm gonna be honest. I'm curious to see what our halftime analysts are gonna have to say about that. Unless you have any final comments, I was gonna throw it to break before we go to halftime here.
All I have to say there is just you can't count out the Ohio OwOs, even after that insane first map by, like, here we can just see how good Cena is on this character. Like, he makes this character look easy. I can't do that. I don't know if you can, chat, but I can't.
On Dorado defense earlier, I was popping off an Ashe and we held them at the same place Ohio did.
Oh, shush. All
so
right.
I'm just saying I'm actually as good
You're
as
silver
Seaman,
on DPS.
So
You
I
are
don't
silver.
know what you're talking about. This is lies and slander. I am
I'm
clearly
screenshotting
a
your
diamond
profile.
player. But you know, let me be proud of my mild accomplishment. But yeah, we're gonna throw it to break here, and we will be back with some halftime analysts joined by Shellshoc and Mirage. So make sure to keep tuned in for that. You just gotta keep moving forward. Welcome back. We are at a halftime desk for grand finals here between OwOs and Happy Squids. Right now it is 2-1 for Ohio, and we are joined by Shellshoc and Mirage, as well as normal casters with Mysfyt here as well. And they're gonna get into how these teams have been doing.
All right. First off, you guys are keeping up great. These fights are going like really, really fast sometimes. So Reignbow, awesome casting. For OwOs, so I watched OwOs for the most part for these first three matches or maps, and I have 3 main points. So I have a couple replays I asked our producers to pull up with the first clip. The first 2 clips I'm going to go over here, but we can start at the first clip. When you watch this one back, you'll see that what OwOs isn't. OwOs kind of panicked in this first map, right? Like they were kind of on their heels and they weren't looking when to regroup. If you look here, the timer was almost up and they probably could have got one more of their players back and regrouped before Aurealis charges in here. What they want to do is OwOs want to play faster. Happy Squid's tanks kind of seem to want to be playing a little bit slower. So with OwOs wanting to play faster, they need to make sure they're regrouped first before they go in. So you can see in the second clip here, Seaman gets a nice quick pick. They know they have their opportunity. They can take advantage. And Aurelius gets right in the front. They all get right behind him, and they can go in aggressive and fast. And when they get Happy Squids on their heels, they're going to take charge of the fight, and they're able to handle it a lot better. One of the things that's really helping them play faster, especially more in the neutral, when they know they need to stay grouped up and stay alive. When you go into this third clip here, you can see Blatt is helping a lot handle the King's Pharah. Obviously, they put like Seaman on a hit scan so that he can help out, so his focus can be to take out the Pharah. We all know the King is going to run Pharah at some point. But you'll see here in this clip, Blattman actually is watching for him the whole time. It kind of gets lost in the clip, but he shuts down the King's ultimate and is able to kill him. And then the Mercy goes for this crazy res. They take her out, and now they can get aggressive again. And you can see that same thing here too in the fourth clip. which production would know as the 6th clip. Again, Blatt is watching for the flankers too, so not even just the king. And when the king gets shut down by Seaman, you now have to watch out for the Hawk, because Hawk's a great DPS too. But he ends up eating a dragon here that might have actually saved the point for Happy Squids. So having Blatt be able to take or watch Aurelius's back and stop the flankers from coming in, and putting Aurelius right in the front and anchoring down, and I say anchoring down, but really bowling forward on Happy Squids, it's what's giving them a lot of success. And then when they have that happen, the thing that brings it all together and is going to be Seaman, right? So if we go into the 5th and 6th clips here, when they're focused on how fast Aurelius and Blattman are coming in at them and shutting down their flanks, it just lets Seaman go wild, right? Especially on his favorite character, as Mysfyt said many times, the Ashe. He gets some crazy headshots. He gets a lot of value out of the dynamite with Ashe, and it's given him the most success. You can even see it in this last clip too. It's just a quick short one, but wow, like he uses his coach gun and gets this nice little clip off at the end. Actually, oh no, yeah, it is that clip. Yep, awesome. So yeah, the 3 main points for OwOs, if they want to keep up their success and finish out these last 2 maps and clean up, is going to be the tanks staying out in front and bowling over them fast, because Happy Squids wants to play slower. Blatt continuing to watch those flankers and shutting down what the Hawk and the King do best, and then just opening up the field for Seaman to do whatever he wants on his favorite heroes.
I'd agree with that. I think that's a very, very complete analysis of OwOs there. I was not expecting it to be that good, I'm be honest, but that was, yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there, personally.
Yeah, I mean, we're watching 2 great teams, obviously. I mean, I was tasked with watching most of OwOs, so that's what I saw, but you can tell too when Happy Squids gets their opportunity to play a little slower and they get that group up and if they can get OwOs back on their heels, the whole fight flips, and I'm sure Mirage has plenty of great points as to why that happens.
Yeah, before we go on to Happy Squids, I do want to ask you a quick question. Something I noticed personally during a lot of the OwOs fights is Turbo Nerd seems to be a little slower than the rest of his team. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, but I saw a couple of times where it felt like he was a little bit more indecisive than most of his teammates, or he wouldn't... Like, there was one time on, I think it was King's Row, I don't have a clip of it, but he used his Blizzard, like, really late. He could have used it a lot sooner, and like he still got a good Blizzard off, but it was really late, and it felt like he was like either indecisive or waiting like for a specific thing, waiting to be in range of something. Yeah. And what would you think of that being a factor for OwOs going into these next few maps?
Yeah, so I think it kind of goes back to, and I guess I didn't highlight it all the way, but them not panicking, right? OwOs, when they're comfortable, they're rolling, and then when they're panicking, they're getting rolled. And one of the things that's allowing them to keep the momentum going is ulting first. So, I mean, that's definitely something that Turbo Nerd needs to keep in mind. Maybe it's a communication issue going on with the team when they start to panic a little bit, when that panic sets in just a tiny bit. But if he gets those ults off first, they're rolling.
All right. I think we'll move on to Mirage now, who was tasked with watching the Happy Squids. Mirage, what do you got for us?
Yeah, so I also have a little bit of insights in the OwOs. I'm not going to say my source on the team, but I've been talking to them in between each map, and they're certainly saying that there's a one-trick pony on Happy Squids that's dominating them, and that's the only thing they can see that the problem is. And I think that's a terrible take from their team, because that isn't the only problem. And in this first clip here, we'll see Jim Blue get insane value on Wrecking Ball, which of course is possible, but in minors you don't really see it that often, especially with a Reaper and a BAP and for Blattman on his signature hero Sigma can handle him. What he does here, he doesn't do anything besides spin. But what that does is everybody thinks, oh, the King's gonna pop up, and he will, but he needs time. And by having Jim Blue go in, use his shield, not force Blazing Angel to get off King and heal him, and then have War and Peace just be able to stand there with shield, not taking that much fire, because everybody's turning on Jim Blue, who's also, again, spinning super fast, and it's very hard to hit. I can say, playing on Orisa, it's the worst thing in the world. And then at the tail end of this clip, we can see him get back to his Baptiste with, I would say, oh no, I don't even know if I recorded that part, but he gets back to his Baptiste, he gets in an immortality, and he stays alive. And they win that fight purely because of that. Everybody's going to say the King got kills, and he does get kills, but he only has time to get those kills because Jim Blue creating space there. And I think that's one of the underrated things is, and it's not even, he just did a lot. All he did was just not have to get healed by the Mercy, which meant the Mercy could be on King the entire time. So King important to the team, of course. He's getting the resources, but the fact that the tanks aren't demanding those resources is why OwOs had a problem on that first map, especially, and on their defense on Kings or attack on Kings. No, defense on Kings for OwOs. So we'll see also in the second clip, their Happy Squids are attacking on King's Row. Black gets out of position. That's not his fault. It was a nice wall. But the big thing I want to show you here is this fight's not over. It's 5v6. And you'll see the next kill at the 10-second mark was Hawk on Seaman. And we don't even see that. And I'm not blaming the casters because that was off.
I feel like you are, though.
I'm kind of blaming the casters because they're not following the important stuff here is not on the screen, but I wanted to show you it nonetheless. It was Seaman's on a flank. We all know Seaman's one of the best DPS in the minors Owlet, and I'm sure he could contend for one of the best DPS across all of Owlet. But the big thing here is he didn't have time. Everyone on OwOs is pressing S, and they're not giving Seaman space. And everybody says the King's going to get value with his walls, with his Mei. Sure, but Hawk on this play teleported at Seaman. He didn't care. He died, doesn't matter. Took Seaman out of the fight for 3 seconds. Gave Happy Squids the time to just bowl over Ohio with their Mei. He ended up killing him, and like you'd think so unless Seaman gets a perfect shot. But like the big thing is that they're just doing enough so that King has time. Like this is another case example of Hawk creating space or Jinblue creating space for the rest of their team to do the work that they can. And we know we've seen them do all year. And then as for the last clip, so this is on the final map, and we saw a big change about halfway through Kings. And the big change I saw personally was Happy Squids, to simplify it, was pressing S too much and wasn't giving King that space, wasn't giving their team that space. So we'll see here, their rotation's fine if we play clip 3. The rotation's fine, but they didn't rotate fast enough. And you'll see we got a kill on the King, and then they leave. You'll see War and Peace run. You don't see it that well, but War and Peace runs away, and he leaves Speak and Jinblue alone. And I don't blame War and Peace for this. I think this is a communication thing. Things are happening fast. OwOs coming at them quick, and they don't have not the coordination of the communication, but just set plays when they get in that trouble, and they don't have someone to calm them down. I think they're all getting hyped up. It's the finals. They're going too quick for, like, their mind's going quick, their comms are going quick, and there's a lot going on. And everyone's doing everything, would be the best way I could put it. And they need to settle themselves down, because that's how they're going to win, is slow playing, creating space, and just waiting for the opportunity of, like, in my opinion, two of the top 5 DPS in the minors to do what they do best, and that's kill people. They just need to give them the time to do that. And the resources. So the tanks really got to focus on staying alive and not demanding resources out of Blazing Angel, so Blazing Angel can just pocket King or Hawk. That would be my take, and what's wrong in the last map for them, and what went right on the first 2 at least, or first 1.5, for sure.
Yeah, that's a big point. That's a big point talking about the finals, right? I mean, the pressure's on here. Yeah, and I think we saw that on Dorado. I think they, especially that first, it just didn't look good, and obviously it snowballed from there. We don't even have to talk about their attack, just the defense. It felt flustered, and it felt like everybody kind of took it in their own mind. They need to play better. When if they all just settled down and played their style of slow, giving time, not trying to like burst out of anywhere, you know what I mean? Just wait for your opportunities, they would have been better off. Absolutely. I mean, we've seen that from this team. They're a very well coordinated team. So when if they can get back in their pocket there, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And I think the halftime will help with that, to be honest. I think their coaches H2 on Manameme will sit down and talk with them and really focus on that as an aspect, because obviously they're hearing the comms and they know what's going wrong. I'm looking for a different Happy Squids team. I think Ohio will keep up the pressure, but I hope Happy Squids can plan to handle that better and have a little bit better communication, a little bit better, a little bit more calmer, like just a calmer demeanor, and I think we'll see a great finish to this game.
I'd agree with that. I do have a quick question for you. It kind of looked like, especially on Dorado, The King looked like he was getting a little flustered there. On the far, like he was switching between heroes left and right. He didn't really have a solid thing to lock down, but we did see him get some success on that Hanzo there. Do you expect him to kind of stick to that Hanzo pick if he needs to, and only flex onto the Pharah if he has to? Or do you think that he will continue to pick that comfort pick Pharah? Like, how do you think that's going to affect this going forward?
I don't know the next maps, but I would say I would like to see more Pharah from him. And the Mei Reaper as well, or even Mei Hanzo. I don't know if we've seen that yet at Happy Squids. But the reasoning behind that is when you saw King like switching heroes, like you said, but like that goes back to my point of I think it was everyone was trying to make a play instead of just calming down, and it caused him to switch. I need to be on this hero to counter that guy. I need to be on this hero to counter that guy instead of thinking this hero works best with my team, right? And I think that's what we saw. He's like, oh, Siemens killing me on Ashe. I need to counter him with Ashe. Instead of just saying, well, Mei would have worked better with my team, just into their team.
All right.
And I think, like, hopefully their coaches see that, calm him down, and he gets back to his comfort Pharah and the heroes like Mei that'll really help the team.
All right. I think that's going to pretty much do it for our halftime here, unless Reignbow's got anything to say.
Yeah, and I think they did some really good analysis, and I appreciate you guys being here for that.
Yeah, it's fun.
Excited to be here. Let's play this thing out.
Let's get back. We got to get back into it. We get this team's kind of cold.
Yep. But yeah, so we are going to be going into Temple of Anubis here, and hopefully seeing Happy Squids bring it back a little bit. Just put up a fight here at the end, or hopefully not the end, but yeah, see if they can bring this back on Ohio.
You realize it can't be the end, right?
Yeah, okay, listen. Okay. I'm scuffed, as always. I didn't talk for like a solid 5 minutes.
New casting partner. Can we switch? Can we sub out Reignbow, Coach?
So mean.
You're inting on cast. I didn't even know that was possible.
Okay, but let's get in here. What do you think these teams are going to be running?
Well, I actually have no idea here. I've seen OwOs run like 8 different strategies on this map, and it's like a hat. It's like I'm gonna try that again. I'm gonna try that a third time. It's like pulling a name out of a hat of what they will try here. I've seen them run Bastion, I've seen them run Ashe, I've seen them run Hanzo, I've seen them run Mei, I've seen them run a bunch of different things here. And what's gonna interest me most is if they go on to the Ashe or if they go to the Bastion here. It looks like they are gonna run this Bastion Junkrat. We have seen this get used here before. I believe it was Happy Squids Dumpster Divers. I believe Happy Squids, if I'm not mistaken, had a really, really good Junkrat Bastion defense of this point.
I know they had a really good Junkrat. I don't particularly remember the Bastion, though.
I could have sworn they had both. But either way, this is Junkrat's best map because he can put his trap on either of the 2 entrances or paths that people usually take to the point. And in doing that, he can really, really help his team. And something we do have to highlight, courtesy of one of our halftime analysts, is Jim Blue made an outstanding play with the ball here to knock the Bastion off here. So
yeah, we're running out with Furry Dive for Happy Squids.
Yeah, no, oh well,
not
gonna do it this time.
But I definitely think they can recover. Now that they kind of know what's going on, they can get their settle down and figure out what they're doing. They're actually going to be switching over to the Arista Sigma. I think that's probably a smart move there.
Yeah, Hawk going to go on to the Mei too, which is going to be really helpful. They will probably wall off one of their entrances to allow themselves to get in, and then wall to get on the Seaman as well, while leaving King on this off angle to kind of push in damage, try to get that ult, because their ult is going to be really impactful here if they can sneak it in on them.
Oh yeah, used a good pull to put in a lot of damage on those 2 tanks there. We'll get rezzed up and trying to rotate around right side, it looks like, and see what they can do here. Using that wall to block off some of that LOS from the Bastion, but they're pulling back to point here on Ohio. Kind of see how this goes. These 2 teams kind of posturing back and forth. Turboner gets killed to speak to Ryan, and War and Peace and Jim Blue go down. Turboner does fall, but the rest of it is all just Ohio.
Yeah, and I do have to highlight though, the King does have this ultimate, but with that rotation there, it looks like they're very, very aware that that the King is going to try to use that ultimate on them. Turboner now with the Rift Tire is probably going to be how they stop this next push, and they'll probably only use the Bastion ult if they really have to. Hawk needs to build this Blizzard here because I think the Blizzard is what's going to win them this. I need to see Hawk also using his walls as more of a shield. He kind of struggled to do that, and there's a good one. They will go straight to point with this one. We'll see how this plays out.
I think that rotation went really well and was able to stop some of the people on their way back to point, maybe get a pick here. Just Seaman does go down to War and Peace. A great start. Aurelius going down. We see the barrage coming out, taking out 3 people, doing really well. We do still see the tire in play, gets taken down by Hawk. And it looks like they will be taking point A right now. Just have the Bastion ulting in the corner there, but does get taken down. I think that went really well, and I really love fast rotation towards point to stop Ohio in their tracks a little bit.
I would really like to see the King go over onto the Hanzo here because he is not going to have the angles with the Pharah, especially now that Seaman is on this signature Ashe. But it looks like he is going to stick with it. Jinblue and Hawk need to charge their ultimates yesterday. They need to have him for this push so that they can win this point and take it with a snowball without allowing Seaman time to get comfortable on this Ashe.
Yeah, I think it'll just take a couple good hits for Jinblue to get this ult, and can definitely use it this fight. Just needs to make sure he kind of immediately pops it going into this, I think.
Hawk does have the Blizzard now, and they probably will be with that. Blackman can no longer eat it after using that kinetic grasp. Penguinator probably has his eye field though, which will be something they can use to counter it, but it does come out already.
Yeah, both Supercharger and the window going down. The Terminator gets that initial pick on to speak to Ryan. See if they can get anything back on the side of Happy Squids to even it out a bit more. They risk back speak to Ryan, so that kind of does it. We see the window's going to be coming out here, and the Gravitic Flux is getting popped as well. Along with the Blizzard now, kind of as they fall back down, they will take out Penguinator, taking out Blackman, and it looks like they will be able to follow up on a couple of these, but Blackman does get res. Just Seaman and Aurelius going down though. Happy Squid's looking really good right now, just need to clean up, and need to take out Terminator there off on the side, but we do see 1 tick coming through, coming up on 2 ticks right now. Yep, 2 ticks, and the tire gets destroyed. Just need to do this last bit of cleanup. We see the barrage going down there, able to take out Penguinator. But we see a number of these people coming back with Spawn. But looks like they are doing pretty good cleanup. Just Seaman does use that Doom Fist to get a pick onto War and Peace. War and Peace does get risk back up. We see the Gravitic Flux getting popped here. And Seaman getting another pick onto Blaze and Angel there. And now Hawk, but Just Seaman does get taken down there. And we almost see the point get captured just an inch away. But we see the OwOs kind of coming back and getting some of these picks that they need. And they're looking really good for a recap here.
What a stall.
OwOs taking that back. We did see Happy Squids getting 2 ticks out of that, so it's not going to take too much for them to get this full capture there, but that is amazing play coming from OwOs to take that point back, especially it was just a Seaman, I think, on that Doom Fist.
Yeah. Did a really, really good job with the stall there. OwOs has been so good at stalling. They're really, really good at trickling out of the point at the right time and maximizing their stall efforts, and I've seen that's like the second time this match that a stall has worked in their favor.
Yeah, we kind of see some of the poke to start out this fight. See if they can get any initial picks going. We see the Supercharger going down. Putting some extra damage out there. Aurelius got kind of separated there, but War and Peace is going to be the one to go down first. Then Penguinator going down, Aurelius going down. Looking good for Happy Squidz right now, but Just Seaman does get a pick on a Blaze and Angel, but Happy Squidz comes back with 2 more onto Jonathan and Turbo Nerds. And it looks like we might see this tick coming through here really quickly as the barrage comes out, and we do see it. They capture with 2 minutes on the clock. And even if they hadn't succeeded right there, they do have that Gravitic Flux they would have had to cap that point.
Yeah, and that's a much better job by Happy Squids there. I think they did a really good job of calming down over the halftime break, like Mirage said they should. And maybe I was wrong. The King doing a really, really good job on that Pharah. We typically don't see a Pharah on the attack here because it's kind of hard to navigate. But on the same coin, it is hard for Justice Seaman to get an angle on that Pharah here. And the King was able to pull off some nice Mirages that map. What I'm curious to see is if they will run the Pharah Bastion that we saw San Francisco Shock run in Owl Grand Finals. Because the King is a good Pharah, and Hawk is a good everything. So I would expect to see the Pharah Bastion would definitely be something they could pull out here and try to beat the Ohio OwOs. For the attack, it looks like they will be going with the Ryan Orisa, which I don't particularly hate. It does look like they actually have the May Junkrat.
Yeah, I'm definitely not opposed to that. The May can work really well here, and it doesn't leave as much exposed as the Bastion can if the other team plays it right. And since it's Ohio, you always expect them to be playing it right, so I support their decision to go May here.
Yeah, I do like the May pick here. the King did a really good job on the excuse me, did a really good job on the Junkrat, I believe, in the I'm so brain dead right now.
Semifinals?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Rainbow. I appreciate that.
This is why we're casting partners.
Yes, absolutely. We are equally scuffed. It looks like Seaman on the Widow. I don't necessarily like that, but I mean, he's somebody that I wouldn't be that surprised if he did well on it.
Yeah, and I imagine that will get switched eventually here, but we do see him rotating around through the right side here, where Junk can spam in pretty freely, but right now they're doing really well. And so Seaman gets picked on to speak to Ryan. They just forgot about the backline there, but it really does go down to Hawk. Jonathan, again, Seaman getting another pick. Ooh, this is looking really good for OwOs right now. I'm not sure Happy Squid's going to be able to recover, especially if they leave Seaman so uncontested. We weren't sure about that Widow, but Happy Squid just forgot about it. Forgot to hit tab, which is just so essential.
Oh my god, that was so clean. He like dinks. I love seeing Zen die to a headshot because he kind of just like falls over in defeat. It's not even it doesn't even look like he dies. Kind of just looks like he's like. Oh well, it just flops to the ground, and that was just so satisfying to watch him just get doinked, and then to see me follow it up with War in Pieces, a corpse next. Just excellent job on the Widow, and he will switch over to the Doomfist now. Okay.
I mean, he was pulling it off before. I mean, this can go very well. We'll see what happens though, as they are rotating through
here and win the fight for his team. Honestly, I think a Riptire here could be really impactful.
Yeah, but starting off, just shooting those shields for a little bit, get that window down, see what they can do there. Still no kills coming through quite yet. Ooh, but now both tanks go down, perhaps because along with one for Ohio, but Seaman is popping off on this Doomfist, but Happy Squids is kind of coming back here, getting some of those kills, especially from Speak to Ryan, getting 2k there, and they're still holding it down. No tickets come through for Ohio yet, but Terminator does take out Blaze and Angel there on that Baptiste. And Warren gets a kill onto Blackman though, so Happy Squids is going to be keeping this.
Yeah, Speak to Ryan there with a really good comeback on that Zen. Zen is one of my favorite characters to watch, and Speak to Ryan making good use of the Discord and the primary fire. A lot of Zens kind of crutch on that right click. Speak to Ryan doing a good job of sticking with the left click, even in the face of a Doomfist, and being able to put that out. Because the problem with right clicking is your DPS is halved if you only use right click as opposed to only using left click on Zen. So you should pretty much only be left clicking unless you're like pre-firing or like shield break, or there's some scenarios. But again,
early pick from King.
Oh, that is quite sizable, I'd say.
Yeah, and that they were taking a while to push in there already, so having that pick, which just sets them back even further, is pretty good for taking time off the clock.
Yeah, I really don't like this DPS duo from OwOs here. This Junkrat and it feels like they're each playing something they think they can do well on, but there's no real synergy between a Junkrat and a Doomfist. It's just all disruption, and it might end up hurting them more than helping them here on this attack. Of course, they do have 4 minutes, so they can kind of do whatever they want for a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see as they rotate through the other side this time, seeing what they can do from this angle. Throwing down the Supercharge, and Turbinator gets killed into King. Just Seaman coming in, taking out Hawk there. We see some support ults getting thrown down. So many ults, really. Just Seaman going huge here. We see the Gravitic Flux coming out, seeing what they can do there. Jimblue does get a kill into Seaman there, but it doesn't look, it's not going to be a lot right now. But King coming in with that targeting at 2k. Happy Squids can definitely recover and take this back. OwOs do have 2 ticks already, but this is very winnable for Happy Squids right now. Ooh, but Aurelius taking out Jimblue, but King coming in, taking out Aurelius there, and only really one left on point. They will be recapturing it. So both times we've seen 2 ticks come through and then a recap. I will say Happy Squid's recap was a lot cleaner because I think they did better in that initial fight than OwOs did.
I'd agree with that, and also you got to give it to the King there for that big tire. If he doesn't get the 2 people with the tire there, I think OwOs takes that point. Great job by him with the tire. And now Turbinator has one of his own, and Aurelius has this Shatter. OwOs likes to get really aggressive when Aurelius has Shatter. So I would love to see them try to just hard commit here with Jonathan's speed boost and really try to catch the Happy Squids off guards before Hawk is able to build up this Blizzard and win the fight for his team.
Yeah, we'll kind of have to see what happens as they are slowly approaching the point through the tunnel here. And we see the window popping out here from both sides, and we Seaman is getting in there on that Doomfist. We see the wall coming through, which kind of denies both of those windows there, including their own for Happy Squids. but no kills coming through quite yet, just facing off still.
Turner has this tire that he could break the fight open if he comes. He's Turner's in main.
Oh, well, we'll have to see what happens there if they spot it out. And we see Seam coming in with this Doomfist, and with the wall going up, we see the tire coming out. Aurelis is down. Penguin Air going down as well. Happy Squids looking to keep this right now, and officially OwOs has less time than Happy Squids on their attack.
Yeah,
and they're backing up, so.
I don't know what Turner was doing over there. Like, I thought he would just try to tire from main and allow his team to go in, but Turner really hesitating there. And that was something I kind of touched on about like how hesitant he was being in other maps. And right there, I feel like that was a really big point of contention there because he's not with his team. So it's a 5v6 on point. He's got to try to make a play if he's on that off angle, or else he's just effectively wasting time for his team. And now they're going to have a 1-minute fight here to try to take the fight. They're trying to take the point here. They do have quite a few ults to try to take it with, including both tank ultimates. But they do have the Blizzard on the side of Happy Squids.
Oh, and we see the tire coming out. How many can it get? None right now. We see the Shatter came down there, and the Blizzard, a huge 5k out from Turbo Nerd. That's winning them the fight. That's an amazing tire. He kept that out there and waited out the immortality, waited out everything, and got a huge 5k.
Oh no, dude.
They do have 1 minute left, though.
You see, there's another side of that coin. Is that Hawk was not on the point. I thought he was still alive and he was not on the point there. So that is, I think they would have won it anyway. So I'm not gonna say letter number, but
yeah, I mean, because you can't predict that 5k coming through. I mean, he was probably like, oh well, someone will live. You know,
no, he was like shooting. He was freezing and shooting Penguinator, and he could have gotten on point there. Or maybe he was like running.
The point cap came really quick after that 5k. It was like 2 seconds.
Turbo making me eat my words there. I was like, oh, Turbo, you should have done something. And then he did. I said that was pretty much everything he could have hoped to do there. We will see OwOs attack first here, which could either hurt or harm them. They did cap very quickly on their attack. But now this Seaman Widow is not going to work because Happy Squids is going to know it's coming. So this could be really dangerous if they try to go with the same strat here, because Happy Squids is not going to do the same thing twice.
Yeah, and it's only 1 minute, so if this first push doesn't work, it's a bit scattered after that.
Absolutely. Other than that, mirror compositions from the first map, I should say, or from the first attack.
Yep, so far we see the same thing mostly happening, but the wall did come through to block them from rotating around, so they weren't able to make use of their wall on OwO. But we do see them kind of pushing through here, and Seaman still hanging back on that Widow, hoping for the right time to pop out, hoping that Happy Squids isn't too aware, but Happy Squids is pushed up enough that Seaman is not going to have a great angle here, but does get a pick on to speak to Ryan! Guys, please, pay attention to the Widow, that we do see the shield going up to block some of that, but there's a nice gap there. Blackman gets kill on the Blaze and Angel. Those doing really well right now. Happy Squids needs to cover, but Terminator getting that kill into Jim Blue as well, and it's going to be them continuing to push through here.
I got to highlight a couple things.
And King used his ult there at the end.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't blame him there. He charged it really quick, and I don't think OwOs knew he had it. But I got to highlight the supports there, because that means King was just absolutely destroying them with damage, and the supports were still able to keep their team alive. Good job at that. And Seaman, like, how does he keep doing it? I mean, Speak to Ryan's got to know what's coming. He's got to be positioned better than that. He can't let it happen twice, and he does. You can't have that happening, Speak.
Yeah, he was just backing up a bit too much, but I think they need to have a slightly different answer than just the kind of avoidance that they were going with. But as we see them approaching here, Ohio approaching, use that wall to catch out some of those tanks, but no kills off of that. But Hawk gets killed on Turbo Nerd. We see the Shatter coming down. Huge Shatter there, and it looks like that's going to be what OwOs needs. It's a full team wipe there, I think.
You gotta be kidding me.
Oh, OwOs with an amazing attack. See if they can even get a touch coming out here. Only really the Tracer able to get anywhere, but yeah, okay, 1 minute and they got to the end there. I hope we see something similar coming out from Happy Squids. I think they can do it, but they're going to have to try really hard here on this push.
That was an excellent job. I said Happy Squids wouldn't do the same thing twice, but they kind of did. I do got to highlight, Seaman was very, very patient with that shot. He didn't like try to make something happen that wasn't there. He waited until he knew he could hit the shot on speed to Ryan and then just domed him. First shot, first try, hits that shot perfectly. And that is such a huge advantage, is having a player like Justice Seaman on your team that is consistently just so good. Able to get those picks just at a moment, like he's just able to do it. You tell him to do something and he does it, and he's so consistent at it. We will see him go on to the Ashe here. Looks like Turbo Nerd will go on to the Bastion now. I do kind of like this, especially because they know the King will be on Pharah here, and they're going to have both of these. It's going to be a dual threat trying to take down the King. And I think Happy Squids is going to have to dig deep if they want to match that, because they went into their defense, their second defense, with an advantage, with the advantage of time, with the advantage of knowing that they had attacked better. But now, after that crushing attack from Ohio OwOs, Happy Squids is going to be boomed here, and they need to pull it together if they want to have a chance to win this map.
For sure, so we'll have to see what they're going to be pulling out and how they're going to react to this Bastion comp. Approaching the point, so they now know what is going on, and getting a good clean rotation, not getting too freaked out right now. No picks coming through quite yet. They rotate down to point, see if they can pull off what they did. A nice pull bringing them closer so that they can get those kills down. The immortality does save some of those players there. Relix is the first pick onto Hawk. Happy Squids still has the space to bring this back though, but Seaman takes out the King, and that's, DPS down for Happy Squids. And with a nice dynamite there, that's going to be the end of that push. They have one more good push here, and so we'll have to see if they can do it now.
They're going to have to do it as quick as they can and try to make it an eco push to get ult charge. They need to die quick here, because Seaman does have this Bob, and it is going to win the fight for them, because they have no defensive ult with the Baptiste and the Mercy there. They will have the eye field for it, but I assume it's just going to get burned here. They need to go fast, and they need to get ult charge. They switched off the Mei. They could have gotten a blizzard. That would have been huge.
Yeah, and using that wall to help get through point. But we do see OwOs backing up. They know that they just need to keep this going here. And staying on point, make sure Happy Squids can't get anything done. No picks coming through quite yet. We do see windows coming down from both sides. Turbo Nerd getting that initial pick onto War and Peace.
There's a war going on between Seaman and the King right now. Oh,
Hawk gets the kill. That could be what they need.
They got res.
Oh, it does get res. Aurelius gets the kill onto Hawk. It's Speak to Ryan going down. Isn't looking good right now. And we see the Bob coming in. I think that's going to be the end for Happy Squids right now. Yep, Jim Blue going down, and I don't think they can touch.
The King's got to pull off a miracle here, and I don't think he does it here.
Yep, Warren coming in to touch. King going down, though. And the Gravitic Flux is going to be taking out War and Peace there. And, yep, that is going to be the end of Temple of Anubis. So right now it is 3-1 for Ohio OwOs. Happy Squids was looking a lot better on Temple of Anubis than they were on Dorado, but it just wasn't enough. And I think the biggest linchpin there is that Seaman Widow on first point. If they had reacted better to that and had a better counter to it, they win this map easy.
I agree, but how do you counter it? If you predict it, right? If you think they're going to go for that's just a big play. I'm sorry. That's just a big guy right there. That is just a big man with the big plays, bringing it home for his team. That fire is huge. But as I was saying, I don't know what you can do about that Widow there, right? Let's say you put Hawk on something like Hanzo, right? Okay, what happens when they run like Mei Reaper into that, right?
Hanzo's still a good hero, though. I mean,
I agree, but it's so hard to predict. First off, how are you going to do that twice, right? Because in your mind, you got to think there's no way they pull out the Widow twice.
Well, okay. Here's a thought though: is what if Happy Squids ran Bastion defense on point A of on the second time around for Ohio's attack, round 3? I think that would have gone a lot better, because it's only a minute. That's all you need to defend, and I think that Ohio doesn't break that in time. I think that would have held out better.
I agree, it's possible, right? But then you're left dealing with the King is the one who has to duel the Widow, right? Or whatever they come up, say they go up with the Ashe there, right? The King has to duel that on whatever character he picks, because the Bastion's not going to have the angle to, because the King will be on high ground, or the just Seaman will be on high ground. So
yeah, but if you take out the rest of the team, C-Man doesn't matter. Is what I'm saying. So like, if you use that Bastion and you kill the rest of the OWOs, it's fine that Siemens on high ground because your shields are still up because the rest of the OWOs are dead.
I think the issue is like they have to be actually killing the rest of OWOs. They've been kind of struggling to do that with how good the supports are at keeping the team alive and how.
I think with Bastion they could pull it out though.
Maybe
it's a lot of DPS.
Mayhaps. That's all I'll say is mayhaps.
I mean, we won't know. We're
we'll
off
never
to
know.
Yeah.
It looks like we're going to be going to Gibraltar next. If I'm not mistaken. Oh no, that was the OWOs saying that. So they're hoping for Gibraltar, so it most definitely will not be Gibraltar.
I think that would be the play, unless OWOs is doing reverse psychology on the Happy Squids.
Well, I don't know. The last time they were at Watchpoint Gibraltar, Seaman got like 90% of his team's final blows, and while it was kind of a close match, it did really feel like OWOs had the momentum, had the control over it. That was the third map in the series, I think, if I'm not mistaken. That was kind of what turned it around for OWOs in the reverse sweep of Happy Squids. But now they are. I could be stupid here, but they are just one map away from winning, right?
Yeah. Oh, if
Okay,
OWOs gets this, then
Awesome.
it's done.
It's nice to know that I am not a complete idiot. I am one most of the time, but right now, this is where it matters, people. This is an official professional cast that I am not being paid to do. Please pay me, Abyssal. But professionality. Yeah. Save me, Rainbow. I don't know.
What do you think we're going to be seeing on Watchpoint Gibraltar? Because that is where we are going. We do see Far get played here, and we're definitely seeing the Ashe.
All right, hot take. I think Justice Seaman's gonna play Ashe. I know that might come as a shock to you people, but I think he's gonna do it. I think it's gonna be I don't think Happy Squids is gonna know how to deal with it because they've shown that they don't know how to deal with it so far. So I think it's gonna be a really interesting niche strategy that they pull out to win the map.
Yeah, I think you may be right there. What about everyone else, though? I mean, do you think we're going to be seeing any weird tank lineups? We did see Happy Squids try to run some Furry Dive earlier. Do you think we might be seeing that back?
No. Like, Jim Blue's good at ball, and ball can work really well here. I've played with balls on this point, and please cut that out of the ball. But I have played with Hammonds on this point before. Especially on first point, you can knock people off the high ground if they're running double shield because the Sigma just launches off that high ground if you hit them right. And it could be really, really good. It could be really impactful for them. It might be something different because it's kind of shown that with the strats Happy Squids has right now, the double shield, they're not running it as well as OWOs are. Like, I'm sorry, I did kind of highlight this in my article about this. Happy Squid's tank line is not as good as OWOs. They're good. War and Peace and Ghibli are good players, but Aurelius and Blattman are just so electric, so resourceful on their characters, and their team is so good at playing around them in a way that Happy Squids isn't. Happy Squids kind of banks on their DPS line, whereas OWOs, they really do a good job of supporting themselves throughout the lineup. That's why they're so consistent, is because every player is so consistent.
Yeah. Not a lot of bad days over on the OWOs.
I would agree with that.
I think they had one bad day back in stage 1 and refused to have one since.
Okay, that was because my team beat them, right? So I can tell you what happened. And what happened is that Penguinator was playing DPS, and it just it didn't go well. He did not. He did a lot of bad things. It was hard to watch. So was 3-2 though. They were a good team. I think the big reason that we won is because of Yojo Dog beating Aurelius in the Ryan v Ryan. So Peppermint Twist liked to run a lot of Ryan Diva. This was like in stage 1. So Orisa Sigma wasn't like super you had to run it yet in minors. It kind of became that in stages 2 and 3. But in stage 1, there was a lot more variety, and we like to run a lot of Ryan Diva. And Yojo Dog is an absolutely insane Reinhardt. So is Aurelius. But I think a big reason why we won is because Aurelius lost the Ryan v Ryan to Yojo Dog. And of course, the subsequent time that we played them, Aurelius beat the crap out of him in the Ryan v Ryan because Aurelius, again, OWOs is so good at adapting. Each of their players are, and their entire team is. So didn't last very long. But I think that was the big key as to why we won here. And the reason I highlight that, this is a long tangent. The reason I highlight
3-month-old analysis.
War and Peace is not Yojo Dog. I like Warren. Warren's a friend of mine. I think he's a great guy, right? War and Peace is not the Reinhardt that Yojo Dog is. It's not the Reinhardt that Aurelius is. And I really don't see him or the tank line for Happy Squids being the reason they take this over OwOs. They're doing everything they can, but OwOs is just too good at taking out the enemy tank line. They need to get more support. They need to have more opportunities for their players to pop off. And they're not getting it because of how aggressive OwOs is onto them. That was long.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
I'm so sorry.
But don't worry about it. Yeah, I definitely think I agree with your analysis for the most part. Yeah, I don't know, it's pretty decent, and OwOs is more well-rounded, I think, all over than Happy Squids is, and that's really being proven throughout this match. I'm really hoping Happy Squids is able to bring this back and I think it really is who makes the least mistakes. And so I'm hoping they make the least mistakes here, and maybe OwOs slips up a bit here on Gibraltar, and we get to see this go to another map. I always like to not have stomps, and if it's a 4-1, it's a bit too much stompy for me. So I'm hoping Happy Squids wins this.
Yeah, well, it's really looking like a tall order for them because. Like OwOs I got all the momentum right now. They've got everything they need. They're good on this map. Happy Squids needs to dig deep here and go back to basics. Go back to what was working for them on the first map and try to just figure out what they can do to adapt. Because OwOs is adapting, and Happy Squids seems like they're ramming their head against a wall to no avail. They need to figure out what they're doing wrong here and just put it together here, or else their season is going to end on a very low note.
Yep. But we will have to just see what happens, kind of go into this fresh, see what Happy Squids is going to be able to pull out here. As we get set up, we do have Happy Squids defending first, and Ohio is on the attack. Yeah, I was like, we already talked about what comps we're going to be seeing here, and we'll just have to see what actually gets pulled out here in 10 seconds.
Yeah, I would expect to see Farah Hanzo here from Happy Squids. I talked so much about the DPS tonight. I'm so sorry to all tank and support mains, but I am a lowly DPS main, and according to Reignbow here, that makes me very inferior, and I'm really showing it tonight because I've been absolutely awful at highlighting anyone who's not the DPS from these two teams.
You're becoming a flex support kinda, so you're redeeming yourself slowly.
Ish.
Although, what are flex DPS if not DPS that can heal? Pretty much. But let's talk about these comps here.
No, Ana is not a DPS who can heal. Moira is not a DPS who can heal, despite what my plat teammates may think.
Well, I'm low plat, so that's where this comes from. But we do see a double sniper coming out from OwOs, maybe? Pulling up that Ashen Widow.
Ryan Diva, are you joking? Peppermint Twist, is that you?
OwOs being toxic? Question mark? Playing some fun picks here. Maybe.
They are toxic by absolutely booming teams. They're not toxic by running BM strats. Oh my lord, what a shot!
And yep, not starting out great for Happy Squids here as they had 2 initial picks, and okay, I think just a Seaman and Turbo Nerd are the only people you need on Ohio right now.
Just scrap everyone else. Just have them doing things.
Yeah, 2v6.
What? This is crazy. And then just like I love Peguinator accepting his role as the payload servant. The rest of his team goes and has fun and kills the entire enemy team. He's just back there on payload like, don't worry guys, I got it.
Hawk does get a kill on the Seaman though. Oh. And Jonathan, Hawk maybe saving this here for Happy Squids right now.
He's kind of nuts though.
Kills though. We do see OwOs backing up right now for those 2 picks, so I think those 2 picks are all that they really needed, but we do need to see more picks coming out.
You have double sniper on both sides now. Hawk with a nice exit pick onto Penguinator. Definitely going to force them to regroup. And the King asserting dominance over Turbo Nerd with that headshot. Now finding his cover pick back on the Widow. I do like this.
Double sniper v double sniper. Interesting.
Yeah, this is something I don't think we've seen this all season in minors. So this is really interesting. Blackman though is going to have a lot of power here because he can contest both the Widow and the Hanzo really easily with those 3-second boosters that he has now. And there you go. He's forced him off high ground, forced him over there, and you will definitely see him try to aggress onto the King and allows his DPS to have more.
Yep, starting off with the Dragons, trying to put in some of that damage onto OwOs, but we see the Nano Reinhardt coming out, but King with a pick onto Seaman. King is getting his revenge right now, and King getting another kill onto Turbo Nerd. We do see a res almost coming through, but the rock to cancel it, and Hawk gets killed into Blackman. Hawk gets killed into Aurelius. Yeah, okay. The DPS are refusing to lose on Happy Squids right now. They're just
King mad.
so hard. Honestly,
King
I think
tired
that's
of
what
getting
happened.
headshot. King mad. King smash.
Oh, amazing. But yeah, that's what's happening. That's what's happening right now.
I don't think I've
King's-
seen his Widow, but it's kind of clean though. Not gonna lie.
Me either. I'm now like wishing I had seen it more earlier. This is really good. Oh, but just Demon with the pick this time, and on to speak to Ryan. Demon did not like being headshot too much, and he's coming back with a vengeance. War and Peace does get a kill onto Aurelius, maybe keeping this alive perhaps because this Turbo Nerd goes down, but the cap is coming through for OwOs, and we are now on to point B here.
I mean, this is just a great duel of DPS right now. These are easily, I would say, probably the two best DPS lines in the league. Congregations is also pretty good, but the explosive power of Seaman and Hawk combined with the King's abilities on Pharah and apparently Hanzo and Widow as well. It makes these two teams really fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here hoping for what happened, like what's gonna happen next. This is very exciting right now. We start off with the Dragons here, not really gonna pick anyone, but does force the OwOs back a little bit, giving some space to the Happy Squids to aggress there. But we do see Aurelius moving closer. Has that Discord orb on him and does go down to speak to Ryan. Hawk getting a kill into Seaman here. Happy Squids is getting that ground. Jonathan does get a kill into King though.
Yeah, Swan advantage will negate that almost entirely though. Looks like OwOs is staying in this a little too long. They kind of need to back out. Like they're trying to like get some poke exit kills, but if Happy Squids just aggresses onto them, they can win because there's no DPS alive. So.
Yeah, ooh, and a pick onto Seaman early there. If OwOs takes it slow, Seaman should be able to come back in time to join this fight. But taking it slow is kind of going to be that key piece there. As we already see Blackman's shield going way down, and we see the Graphitic Flux getting popped out now. See what kills get off that. Blackman is going to be going down there, and that's keeping OwOs back off there, and Seaman going down again. Really doing a good job on Happy Squids of taking time off the clock for the OwOs.
Yeah, it looks like the King is actually giving Seaman... It looks like Seaman's kind of met his match here with the King's Pharah. The King has won the duel against him several more times than Seaman has been able to. I wonder if we're going to see like a comp switch here that will allow Seaman on to his more comfort pick Ashe. Well...
Ooh, gets the King though anyway on this Widow.
I mean, that works too.
Dragon's coming out, putting in a good bit of damage there, but not quite enough. And we do see Turbo Nerd going down to War and Peace though. And we have the Nano Orisa coming at the Happy Squids there. Hawk gets a kill into Jonathan. And it, still kind of anyone's fight. Justin gets killed into King. Blaze Ninja comes back, takes out Aurelius. It's going to be Happy Squids continuing to hold this right now. Doing a very good job, and with a nice kill into Seaman as well there. But we do look at who we see up top, Turbo Nerd, and we saw Blazing Angel going to try to contest him, but there now Hawk taking his place and does take out Turbo Nerd, delaying their next push even further.
Yeah, and we're really seeing a mashup from what we've seen earlier on. It used to be that the DPS line of OwOs was just trouncing Happy Squids, but now Hawk and the King really showing out, and just absolutely having their way with OwOs, and there's almost nothing they can do about it. They need all this is coming down to is just DPS tools won in the favor of Happy Squids, and it's allowing them to keep this point held for much longer.
Yeah, pulled speed bluff high ground there. We do see the Dragons coming in from Hawk, and nice 2K there. Jonathan Blackman going down. And we see the Supercharger going down. They only have 2 seconds on the clock. They really, needed to kind of go in there, but Aurelius is going to fall, and it looks like this is where OwOs is going to get stopped unless some hero play comes out here.
10 seconds remaining.
Which is possible. We do see 2 possible big ults, and Turbo Nerd does get taken down, but Seaman does take out the King there, but Happy Squids is coming back with more kills right now. The Graphitic Flux could be the difference maker here. We'll see what happens right now. 2K, Blackman pulling it off right there. Might be able to get this, but we see the Graphitic Flux coming out from the other side now. No direct kills there quite yet. See if they can get any kills off. That Jonathan goes down, but War and Peace also going down to Penguinator there. OwOs might actually be recovering right now and able to capture this. And with the kill on to speak to Ryan coming out from Just C-Man, it looks like they will be able to do that. Habsgood just trying to contest right now, but King getting taken down, and it looks like we are going to see the cap coming through. We're going to point C. I totally thought that was going to be ended right there, but with that huge flux from Blackman, they were able to bring it back.
Yeah, and now we will see a much stranger composition for OwOs. They don't really have a lot of time to switch off of this, so they will probably be stuck on the Sigma ball with the Tracer and May, which is going to be really strange here. Penguin does have that Nano. I was expecting the Nano Turbo Nerd so that Turbo can build that Blizzard and hopefully allow his team to win the final point here with the Blizzard.
Yeah, and do want to point out the good chase there is doing a good job letting them get cart progress there, and I think that aggression was very well done from OwOs. But we do see the Nano coming out here onto Tracer. Does get rough test or recall there, but does get the kill onto King. And the pulse bomb coming out onto Jim Blue. C-Man is popping on a new hero now, taking out Blaze and Angel. I don't think I've ever seen C-Man on the Tracer before. We see the mines are going to get dropped now from Aurelius taking out Hawk. It looks like they may actually get this point C cap. This is huge right now. Only Jim Blue still trying to stall this out. Hoping the rest of the team get back with that huge sleep coming out from Penguinator there. He's able to take him down. I don't think there's going to be any chance of a stall here with 12 seconds left on the clock. Capturing with that with time might end up being huge.
Yeah, and that is just composure is the name of the game there for OwOs. After that was the most string of fights that they have lost tonight. That was like 7 or 8 fights in a row that they just lost. Just not were close, just straight up lost. And they were able to keep their composure, not only to finish out that point in overtime, but to push all the way to the end of that map with only 1:30 remaining. That's just such an impactful thing to have, is the ability to take a step back and be like, take a deep breath, have remember how to play, and just in the face of defeat, you spit in its face. And this has gotten so messed up now. I'm so bad at making these analogies.
I think one thing that adds to that, with that keeping that composure there in the face of losing some of those fights when you're really not used to it, is the fact that they have such great synergy and work really well as a team because they've known each other for years, with the exception of Jonathan and Blackman. But from what I hear, they've slotted in very well over there on Ohio.
I'd agree. I'm excited to see if this. Surely not the Torb, right?
I don't think so. I think that it's gonna get switched up. We don't see the double sniper coming out on defense. We do see Ryan Arissa coming out here from Ohio.
That's strange. You can't really get a lot of value from the Ryan on this high ground. Like, this is definitely a better map for Sigma here, because the Sigma loves that high ground. It allows him to have, like, he can get so much splash damage in over the Arissa shield and get some good rocks off, but it looks like they're going to play low ground action and try to overwhelm them when they cross that corner. I like this.
Yeah, I have to imagine Habsgood kind of knows what's going on, as don't see any. And, just kind of facing off right now. A huge wall could take out one of those tanks, not quite able to secure a kill there. And OwOs able to back out of that. And right now it's just kind of shield battle. Aurelia's going nice and aggressive there on that Rhine, making them back up a little bit. We see another wall coming through. Again, not able to secure any kills. Oh, and Hawk with the first pick onto Just C-Man. Starting out there, see if they can keep that momentum up. Continuous walls coming down here to try to cut off these tanks. Just C-Man does get rezzed up by Jonathan there, though, so these teams are still even. Only one pick happening, and it's been rezzed. Oh, but another pick onto War and Peace from Just C-Man. But Blazing Angel comes back and takes out Aurelius. That's one main tank down on either side. Penguinator going down as well to Hawk. Just even comes back and takes out the King, though. Really even right now, but Hawk taking out Blackman, Blazing Angel taking out Turbo Nerd. They're going to be able to continue progress here on Happy Squids.
If Steven can get out and stay alive here, he will have the Bob for the recontest, which could be really, really impactful there. Hawk does already have his Dragon Sight. He got it pretty early in the last fight. He was not missing at all. The King's still lagging behind on the Blizzard, which would be really nice for this first point take. Other than that, though, there's not a whole lot of impact pulse on the side of either team.
Yeah, Dragon's coming out, but countered by that Immortality Field. You see his Shatter coming down, not really able to get a lot there. And it's still just kind of back and forth. It's trying to get that first pick. And we'll kind of have to see where it ends up falling. That Bob got used, that Supercharger got used, but to no avail yet. Still, everyone is just staying alive, but Aurelius with that first down. To speak to Ryan, Turbiner gets taken down while trying to Death Blossom. Aurelius does get res back up, but Jonathan's going to be going down to Hogs. That Gravitic Flux gets used there. Looking good for Happy Squids. They also take down Just C-Man. Continuing to move here, just need to take out the tanks right now. And Penguin Nerd here on that Baptiste. But Aurelius goes down again. And you see Turbo Nerd coming in, but Penguin Nerd going down. Blackman going down, Turbo Nerd getting cleaned up there. They are going to be rolling through to point B.
They stole that for a long time. Unfortunately, all they did was effectively give ult charge to the enemy team. Only one ult on the side of OwOs, as opposed to 4, close to 5 on the side of Happy Squids. Hawk's been really good with those Dragon Strikes. They can get a pull Dragon Strike off. They would have a very easy team fight win. But if that doesn't work, they always have the Blizzard there to follow up.
Yeah, and we do see him kind of keeping that aggression that I like right now in Happy Squids. Keeping that ground, and we see the Dragons coming out there is going to kind of cut off Jonathan a little bit. See if they can get any good picks here, but nothing yet. It's continuing in this pattern of slow kills, but King goes down to Aurelius' Fire Strike there. I believe that was through the window as well to get that extra bit of damage. And we see the Shatter coming down is going to take out those 2 tanks, and that is a nice cleanup from OwOs. We'll see how Happy Squids is able to recover here.
How would they lose that, dude? But that was like a good shot. Like, I don't know. Maybe I zoned out a little bit there, but I can't really identify what caused Happy Squids to lose that there. They could have won that. They had
I think it was the big Shatter, honestly. It was really huge.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, in combination with that wall as well from Just a C-Man, it was able to trap them away from the supports.
Nice.
But we see Happy Squids moving in again. See what they can get done with this Blizzard coming out here.
That's
good
big.
capture. Take out the Immortality. Take out both those tanks. Take a Penguin Air, Just C-Man, and that was a nice team wipe there from Happy Squids. Really great recovery.
Few things lead to an easy fight win. More so than a Hulk Blizzard. Like that got 5 people in it. The eye field lasted no time at all, and it was just a quick, easy fight win. And now there's 4 ults on the side of Happy Squids, 2 support, 2 tank, and they have pretty much everything they need here to pull this out, unless Blackman and his team can use this Supercharger really effectively here.
Yep, starting off that window gets a nice pick onto Turbo Nerd from the King. We see the Supercharger going down to get that extra damage. Warren responds in kind, and they're able to get more effectiveness out of it, taking down Aurelius and C-Man. Blackman going down as well. Really good job from Happy Squids here, continuing to take out the OwOs, and it looks like they're going to finish with a bigger time bank. We'll have to see what happens in this final fight here.
Yeah, just C-Man does have that Blizzard, so it is going to be a tall order for the Happy Squids to win this fight, even with the Transcendence.
The Gravitic Flux, though, coming out here. But Blizzard is now on to Cart, using that Transcendence to keep everyone alive. The Dragons... Well, King goes down first to Blackman here. And it is a very messy fight right now, but Hawk takes down Aurelius. And pushing Happy Squids back right now, the Death Blossom comes out, takes that 3, and that's going to be them defending that. But still plenty of time for Happy Squids to get a better time bank than OwOs had.
Yeah, the King now over onto his signature Pharah. Gonna be interesting to see if Seaman or Turbo Nerd notices this, and they do. Seaman's gonna switch over to the Ashe now, and Jonathan will help him out with the Mercy pocket. This is going to be weird, though. The King now going back onto the Mei, though I'd expect to see Seaman stick onto the Ashe, given the sightline that he'll have here. Hawk is going to have to duel Seaman and win if they have any hope of winning this point.
Yeah, for sure. We do see the fight start to get off, but Seaman gets that first pick onto Hawk. And we see the ball coming in, trying to get some work done there. Turbo Nerd aggressing as well on this Reaper. Nothing else coming through quite yet, but King goes down to the Dynamite there. And they're going to be backing up in spawn, make sure no one else gets picked as they wait for their players to come back.
Yeah, the King with a lot of ult charge given in that fight. The Bob can be really, really impactful on this point, given the long linear format of it. You can throw a Bob all the way in the back and just have him gun down people from the back while the rest of your team is from the front. Really impactful ult here. And not a lot of ultimates for HS to try to push into it. Hawk, again, is going to be tasked with trying to get some hits here to break the fight open for his team.
Yeah, using that window, see what they can get done. Window in response from OwOs, and Hines dropping down. Seaman getting some nice kills here. King does take down Blackman, but definitely not going to be enough, and we have to see Happy Squids back up, especially as Blackman gets rezzed here.
Yeah, I feel like the tanks on Happy Squids are being forced to play really passively just because of how quick the OwOs are killing the rest of their team.
Yeah,
I feel like they're being they're scared to go out in the open because they know once they do, it just spells death for their backline.
Yeah, ooh, but taking a nice flank here. I'm curious to see how this goes as they rotate around kind of through that cliff area. And they are showing up now, almost kind of getting that nice, not having to walk to point, but Speak to Ryan goes down early to Aurelius. There, and the Bob coming out is going to take down Warren. And that's another fight loss, and now they're looking at a much closer bang, and they may not even end up finishing Gibraltar here. They only have 20 seconds, pretty much, and they're going to have to win that fight.
This is where push comes to shove right here. This is where it's going to come all the way down to the wire here. The King is going to have this Blizzard, and it's going to have to be big enough to win this fight for his team, or Happy Squid season is going to end right here and now.
Yep, starting off with that Supercharger, trying to get some extra damage, and the Blizzard is going to be coming out here, catching some of the OwOs players almost. Looks like they did catch a Penguinator, but just Seaman goes down, Penguinator goes down, looking good for Happy Squids right now. See the Transcends coming out, they're using everything they've got. Penguinator does get res, but Johnson's going to be going down. It's looking good for them right now as they continue to get these kills. Just need to take out Turbo Nerd right now and had that Discord on. Speak to Ryan's been doing really well on that. Just need to take out Penguinator, trying to use that wall to prevent him from getting back into spawn. Just Team does come in and take out Blaze and Angel, though, coming in from the side, but War and Peace does take out Penguinator here. We see Blackman charging in on the Reinhardt. And a number of these OwOs players coming back. We need to see these kills coming back through for Happy Squids. Does take out Just Seaman, but we see the Death Loss come out, take out Speak to Ryan. Block does get a kill into Aurelius, but OwOs coming back with some of these kills. We only really see King right now on the point. Everyone else dead. We do see Blaze and Angel kind of coming in here. See what he can do. King goes down. And yeah, that is going to be it. That is Ohio OwOs winning this 4-0, and that is the end of the Miners season right there for you.
Yeah, and to be honest, when I started this game, I didn't expect it to go any other way. But Happy Squids put up a really, really good fight. I was scared there for a second that I would have to eat my words that OwOs was going to win. And I got to give it to Happy Squids. Even though OwOs did win the game, Happy Squids played outstanding. I thought they had some really, really good moments. They can't be too mad with how they played tonight. Sure, there were mistakes here and there, but it was not a blowout. Each map was close. The scoreline is not representative of how this match went because Happy Squids was in every map except maybe Dorado. They were probably not.
Yeah, so
the rest of them for sure.
If you take out Dorado, Happy Squids played really well, and they should not be disappointed with their performance. Even though they lost, they played really well and were able to make a really good recovery at halftime. And they put up a good fight against OwOs, which is kind of hard to do because OwOs has been really, really dominant. So, you know, Happy Squids did a really good job. OwOs coming out the win, though, so now it is time to give them that major congratulations for winning.
Consistent on the main support role, and to be honest, when you're a support player, survival is key. If you can stay alive for a long time, that's just more value that you're getting, because everyone on the field wants you dead, right? And this isn't dive anymore. You aren't the priority target, but if you're out of position even for a second, you will die. And Jonathan and Penguinator both doing an outstanding job helping their team stay alive. I think a great showing of these two players was when you look back at Anubis and saw that the King was able to build his ultimate so quickly, which means he was absolutely destroying OwOs with damage from that Junkrat. And Just Seaman and Jonathan didn't miss a beat, and they kept their team full health through almost all the damage Happy Squids was putting out, because they are so good at rotating their abilities to keep themselves alive. We want to talk about Aurelius and Blackman, who are they're two peas in a pod. They're so synergized. Like, they never make mistakes. They never are in two different locations. They move as one unit, and that is just a great description of a great tank line, is they're just so good at understanding what they need to do and doing it that there's really nothing the enemy team can do. And once again, congratulations to the Ohio OwOs for a dominant Season 3 only dropping 1 game throughout the entire season to my team, in case anyone forgot. But again, just outstanding team overall. And I hope we can be able to interview all of them because I've got questions for each and every one of them.
Yeah, so, we do need to figure out who we're interviewing here.
Hopefully everyone. Like, can we just, like, join them?
I would rather not.
I don't know why.
It's a lot of voices. I mean, only 2 people end up talking anyway.
That's fair enough.
I don't know. Who do you think were some of those standout players? I obviously want to get just Seaman.
Yeah.
Right?
Are you joking? Who do you think were the standout players? I don't know. Maybe it's the guy who got like 90% of the final blows in the match. That guy, yeah, probably him.
Yeah, but who else do you want? I like having a nice 2 people.
How about you pick?
Penguinator.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, let's go.
What the hell is going?
Whoa! You're on stream, my good sir. You can't be saying things like that. This
I was
is
looking
good
at a recipe for brioche buns.
We have homemade brioche buns in the OwOs server, apparently.
Oh, do I get any?
That's what Jazz spent his time doing. He was making.
But I'm in the OwOs server.
I mean, yeah, but can you see ball?
Apparently, I play with balls on Gibraltar, so I'm gonna have to cut that out of the stream. I mean, I said it already on this stream. Might as well have to say it twice. Like, oh well. So
we don't pull everybody.
First off, well, no, Rainbow's a little coward, so we're not going to. However, congratulations on winning Owlet Season 3. I thought you both played really well tonight. Seaman, first question goes to you. How does it feel to be unequivocally the best DPS player in this league?
Well, to be honest, I feel like all of our team knew that stage 1. It feels good to finally prove it, though. Seeing the King get DPS MVP, I just knew that was wrong. And we showed it today. Easy peasy.
Lemon squeezy. I love to hear it. All right, Penguinator, I got one for you. The Pogwinator himself. I highlighted you very few times because you were more of a silent carry on this team. Well, I'm trying to ask you about your role on the team if you would just silence yourself for a few seconds. Tell us a few plays that you think... I want you to brag a little bit. Tell us a few plays that really you feel made you stand out from the enemy team's supports.
Okay, well, I really stood out when I messed up the combo with the pull fire strike with the window. I fed more than a few times.
Penguinator, you just won Miners Grand Finals. We need some positivity.
He had some fat immortality fields.
You know,
wait,
what about something?
Dorado, when they were about to push through the arch and you got like a 3K on that.
Yeah. Okay, so we were talking about how, back out, it's like 3v5. I said, no, I said a bad word in there, but I won't say it on here.
No, say it, coward.
No, it's the F bad word.
Ooh,
I said, get back in there.
Penguin
We started shooting at people. I'm pretty sure I popped the window. We got some kills. I kept everybody up. We just stayed in that fight. We made it ours, and we didn't give up that arch.
I just respond to strong leadership. He said, get back in there, and I said, okay.
Okay, Penguin, leave me alone.
If we don't listen to him, he beats us with sticks, so...
Oh my god.
So, we're learning how OwOs works, I guess.
It's built on fear.
Oh my god. I don't want to be on your. I don't want to be in your server anymore.
It's okay. The true person in there is Teddy because Teddy's terrifying.
Yeah, this is accurate. So, Rainbow, you got any questions for our 2 esteemed guests?
Well, the one question I like always pulling out. Anyone you want to give a shout out to that we may not necessarily know is super helpful from watching your team.
Okay, I'll go first. So he's in here right now. Blatman, fantastic game, especially dealing with King's Pharah. I know in the kill feed it looks like it's just me doing it, but Jonathan and Blatman really popped off. I want to highlight both of them. Fantastic Mercy play from Jonathan. Blat did a great job shielding off the Pharah and keeping Hawk not too aggressive with his rock. I honestly feel like we wouldn't have been able to win even a single map if it weren't for Blat and Jonathan.
Nice. Anyone for you, Penguinator?
I wouldn't say he's a silent person by any means, but Aurelius has been big, calling out all of our rotations. Great shot caller. Definitely not silent ever. But I think he's definitely a strong player, and he definitely helps a lot with all of our in-game calls.
But really, it's just the whole team. You know, we're a unit.
It's just
Everyone's
all JoJo. That's it.
All JoJo, all
except Bone Zone. He's just our mascot.
JoJo.
No, it's Joe Wojo.
Joe Wojo.
Oh no.
Okay, Siemens trying to be a weeb, but he's a fake weeb. He said "kun." I want everybody to know that. He didn't say "kun."
Right, I don't watch
He's a
any
fake
animes.
weeb. He's a fake weeb.
We're trying to run a production here, gentlemen. Keep it together.
I would like to remind everyone that anime is illegal, so that cannot be discussed here. Do we have any questions here from Shellshoc or Mirage, our guests at halftime?
Yeah, I got one. Hey, congrats, guys. Way to go. That was a lot of fun to watch. That's the start. So, like, obviously you could tell you guys did a lot of scouting on this team. I feel like you were ready right away for the furry dive on Anubis. So, what was the game plan going in against specifically Happy Squids that you were like, okay, we want to, because I mean, some of your comps were definitely different. You had the Rhine Diva at one point. Like, what was your game plan going in, and was it to shut down anybody in particular or anything like that?
Okay, well, I'll speak to just like our DPS game plan, which was very much just shut down the King. I mean, Hawk is an extremely good player too, not to detract from him and anybody else on Happy Squids, but we felt if we could get the King to switch off Pharah consistently, that we would just win every single map and it would be easy from then on out. And so we did a lot of practice with Teddy, our coach, on how to deal with Pharah, especially like what we think works best for us, you know, running a McCree with a Zen or an Ashe with the Mercy, and that's what we landed on. And I feel like it worked really well. And I have to give a big shout out to Teddy for that. He coached us really well for this.
Yeah, and I'd like to ask one question. Any changes you guys made after your defense on King's Row, or was it same old, or just stick to your strategy? What did you guys say between King's Row half? Because that's where the game really became yours again, it felt like.
Griffin, you want to answer that?
I'll be honest, I'm one of those people, after even one game of Overwatch, I don't remember anything from the one before it.
I'm glad we got Penguinator.
So what we're saying is, let's just put Blackman in here.
I got it, don't worry, boys.
The whole time.
So what we did is, we actually did change our game plan up. Originally, we came into it hoping to run a lot more Rhine Orisa. It's been a comp we've been practicing a lot of. And it ended up being that my Sigma was able to just shut down the King really well, so we ended up sticking with that.
Yeah, and it seemed to work for you guys because you guys, King's Row
won the game.
Smooth, well, you won, but King's Row was smooth, and then from there, it felt like you always had at least control. Even in Jib, when they took it with like 3 minutes left, it felt like you guys were still ready to set up for a good fight.
Oh yeah, our mental was strong.
Yeah, for sure. And then the other thing I want to say is, can you guys just talk about probably the most underrated player on your team? The other DPS that's not here. Yeah, like I don't know. I felt like he did a lot. The tire on Anubis was massive.
Oh yeah,
it was huge.
Yeah, I clicked that, by the way, and I think Build has it. But like, it was actually interesting. I didn't even realize he used the tire, went by them, waited for you guys all to break the IMO, and then came back and got a 5K. So like
to add to that too, even Turbo Nerd played Widow and played Widow well.
Yes.
Is that the plan? Like,
yeah, he's got a pocket Widow pick, but
apparently
you guys should have heard our comms in the last couple of maps. I was hyping up Turbo Nerd so much. It's like big carry from Turbo Nerd. Like he played phenomenally, out of his mind. I feel like it was very much a breakout game for him, and I'm honestly like I'm very proud of him.
Yeah, he played. I thought he was honestly one of your best players today. Not to take away from the 3 people here, but. He did a lot, and a lot of it wasn't noticed, but a lot of it was at least noticed by me. So props to Turbo.
Some big walls too. Yeah, definitely.
I was gonna say, any final statements, either from the interviews or final questions from everyone here on the desk?
I've got something. We have our beautiful mascot that didn't play tonight, but he's always here for us in spirit, Bone Zone. So if we could just throw the picture up build. He is our beautiful penguin. He's our beautiful OWO. We love him to dear death. Sometimes we want to strangle him, but we still love him.
No. He had to miss a scrim once because, quote, he had to do laundry.
He also showed up to a scrim half drunk one time.
Oh my god.
I got one
he's
last
the
question.
But he
spirit of
shows
the
up.
OwOs.
But he
He is
shows up.
the spirit of the OwOs.
I got
The
one
spirit
last
of
one.
Yes,
Thank
Shellshoc.
you, Bill. Thank
Yeah. What's next for OwOs?
Well, right now we're playing an open division. Things are going okay.
Expected when we go against GM teams.
we're 2-4, but our last open division game was rough. Ended in like 15 minutes.
Hey, it was 28 minutes.
But of course, we
For 3
plan
minutes.
we plan on going back and returning to Owlet in the majors next season. So we're looking forward to that. In the meantime, we're just gonna keep grinding.
Nice. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next season.
We're looking forward to seeing you, Rainbow.
Hello?
I now feel like I need to lock my door.
Lock your door war?
You can run, but you can't hide.
You gotta lock your window.
You can't run from
too.
Ohio.
Yeah, good luck getting to the 3rd floor through my window. But but thank you guys for coming on to talk to us. Great game, and I can't wait to see you guys next season. I wish you luck in Open Division as well.
Thank you.
And thank you everyone in chat for coming out to watch this game. I hope you had as good of a time as I did. I think that is going to be it for this broadcast.
1, 2, 3. Bye.
Mysfyt stuffed as hell.
You turn toward me and look so weak. I've never seen you with such tired eyes. And everything we said we'd be, we just traded for a suit coat and a tie. Run underneath the rows of trees, and we'll see you where the ocean meets the sky. Under your toes, the fire grows. You are ready for a different kind of life. You're silent for the wind is cold. You must return to the wild. You're silent for the wind is cold. You must return to the wild. Follow me down, there's no one around. Lay back and take your socks and shoes right off. That natural light is so damn polite, can make you feel just like you were young again. Standing underneath the rows of trees, I can see where the ocean meets the sky. Under our clothes, a fire grows. We are ready for this life of running wild. We're running wild. Underneath